All right, it's time for your favorite show. That's right, it's time for the SpaceBro Show. That's what we're doing. It's time to get started here, folks. We're going to be having our super awesome guest tonight of Mr. Awesome himself, Mr. BristolBoy's in the house, jamming out. Also joining us, the man, the legend, the beard, DuckForceOne is with us. And you know him, you love him, or you might hate him if you play Conan. That's right, Mr. Toy Grubbin is in the house with us, guys. Everybody's here, everybody's ready to play, and we're going to get started right now with the awesome opossum. That's right, the SpaceBro Show. So, guys, we are just now live on the air, so your mics are free, you can speak. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Nice. Nice. So, we're finally able to get some friends from across the pond on. I mean, what time is it for you guys over there right now?
5 freaking a.m.
5 freaking a.m. That's hardcore. That's Star Citizen love right there. When they
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
4 for me, because Duck's an hour ahead of me.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, let's talk to DuckForceOne here real quick. How have you been? What have you been doing lately? Tell us all about you. Tell us about what you've been streaming lately, and then how did you get into streaming Star Citizen?
Well, I've been following Star Citizen since the game went on Kickstarter, and I've been looking at it most of the time, and looking at it, and then looking at some more streamers playing it, and I didn't really play it myself. I didn't really play any games because I suffer from ADD and depression. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to try streaming and see if that can make me play games, and Star Citizen is going to be my main game. So I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to get into streaming, going to press that play button, or stream button, and then I'm going to play Star Citizen. And since it was already a part of the community immediately gave back to me and jumped on my channel and said, hey, guys, we're going to come and watch you. We're going to hang out with you and motivate you to keep on going. So that's how I got started into streaming, and I'm loving it because you guys out there, the Star Citizen community is so amazing, and it keeps giving back and back and back. And yeah, I freaking love it, man. Yeah. So recently, I've been trying to improve my stream a bit, and I got my Amazon account hacked. So I took down my stream for a few days, rebuilt my computer, and reinstalled everything. And now I'm currently making a video of how to set up your stream from blank.
Nice.
Just for new guys to put on YouTube. And then, I'm... did my first real giveaway of a ship tonight and had some viewers and a few more subs. Got
Sweet.
9 subscriptions now, so
awesome.
I'm happy.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
So yes, I'm doing good. Loving Star Citizen and loving and waiting for 3.0, man. 3.0 hype.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we're happy to have you. It's great. I remember Duck was always one of our most loyal viewers in my show, and always loved having him on the stream and stuff like that. And it's so awesome to see these guys elevate themselves and get on the stream and put themselves out there and do that stuff, and it's really cool. And I love watching your show when I can catch it in the mornings. So it's perfect. It's been good. So, and everybody who's anybody, if you know Star Citizen, you should know this man. This is the Bristol boy, and he is here. He's had some awesome experiences. Still working. Still streaming, still doing all that stuff, and we love this guy. So, Bristol, what have you been up to lately, bud? And tell us about your streaming experiences here as of late, and all that jazz.
Well, as of late, I've kind of... I find it hard because I've always said to people, there's a lot to do in Star Citizen, you know? No matter how you approach the game, you can do the missions differently. You can do the Comrade missions differently. You can sit in and wait to kill people. You can get a quick mission and quick turn around and go to the next one. You know what I mean? But for me, recently I've come to hit a brick wall with it. You know, I can't kind of get past the stage of the stutteriness with the servers or the little lags and stuff. It's a little bit annoying at the moment, but it's still my love. You know, it's still my #1 game that I will be playing. I'm just it's the same kind of boat as everyone. I'm just waiting for these like fixes and patches.
Yeah.
But I've been playing a lot of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I've played like 200 hours in the last 2.5 weeks.
I think a lot of us have been there with you there on that one, brother. It's a great.
Yeah.
That's a great distraction game for us. Something where we can dip our toes into and have some fun with it. And the community's been taking PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds by storm. I mean, you see tons of Star Citizen people and streamers in there as well. We're all just biding time, waiting. And as Duck was telling us off the air earlier, it's not that much longer till the Evocati are going to have 3.0 if everything holds true to the schedule. So
that's true. I mean, and that's another good thing on saying, even if we only do play PlayerUnknowns for another 2 or 3 months, so fucking what? Yeah. We're gonna have PTU of Evocati by then.
We'll be playing that more than that, I'm sure, because they'll be dipping stuff. We'll be waiting for break-in servers. We'll be back and forth on multiple games. The
cool thing with the Battlegrounds, you can play solos, duos, or in a squad. And the outcome's always different. You can land in a lot of different locations. You're never going to get the same gear. You might not find the same car. The gas is always going to move in a different kind of location. Yeah. So you always kind of have a different strategic way you need to play the game and adapt to it. So I think that's why it's been such a big hit.
I think so. I think it's given us something that we found originally when the PU first came out for Star Citizen, where we had that emergent gameplay. We had some missions, but we can kind of make it our own game and our own little thing there. But it's something that Star Marine, as far as Star Citizen, hasn't achieved yet, right? There's so much bugginess there, you can't get smooth gameplay yet. But I'm confident it'll all get smoothed over, and it'll be Sean Noonan that'll make it all happen. Trust me. He'll make it all happen. He'll just push a button, and it'll be the Sean Fix-It button. Also, we have our every time co-host, my good friend Mr. Toy Grevin here, the only man who calls me when my stream's left on for 16 hours straight. So, Toy, what have you been up to, buddy? How's things been going? And give us some insight there. Yeah,
good. I'm playing PUBG the same time you are normally. You got, I let you play with all the guys in chat while I stick with some of my Conan guys. So
yeah.
Conads.
The Conads. The Cobros. Yep. Cobros.
We're still holding the Conan down. So
yeah, well, you have to.
They're not happy, but
yeah,
we're holding it down.
It's good. It's good. All right. So let's go ahead and just dive into it, guys. What we're going to do is the format of the show is we usually do just some analysis of what's happened this week. It's a very opinion-based show. So those of you out there watching, they're I just want the facts. Probably not the best show for you. Go check out Relay's website on that. But we do a lot of opinion pieces here. We talk about everything we've seen, and then we give our feelings and what we think about it here live on the air. Following that, the second half of the show, we'll answer your questions. If you want to ask me, Toy, Bristol, or Duck any of the questions on there, all you have to do is type !questions in chat. It'll automatically go into our spreadsheet. And on the second half of the show, we'll answer those questions for you to the best of our abilities, almost as if we know what we're talking about, even though we may not. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first bit of this. And we're going to be watching a little bit of some moon. I call it some moon geyser porn, basically, almost. It's really good. So if you look at this, guys, this is the most recent update. Basically, Brian Chambers, and it was Frankfurt, I believe it was this time, their turn to do their updates. So they were talking about the VFX working here, and they talking about how the engineers are fleshing out more tech tools for the planet side stuff, and they're experimenting with these environmental tools that simulate things like these geysers and whatnot on the moons that we'll be venturing on here in the not too distant future, we hope. So it's basically a full breakdown to optimize this in engine and stuff. I assume everybody saw ATV in here. What did you guys think of the moons and whatnot?
Which moon's this one? Is this Selene?
I don't know which one's which, to be honest. I don't know.
Who cares? It looks cool, man.
Yeah, there's three different environments. I know there's three different moons. I don't know which one this is.
Yeah. When I saw that segment, I had two thoughts. First, that rover, I buy it. I need it on the website. I need one for my collection.
What? That's a great question. Why isn't it on the website? I mean,
I need a rover. I need my ship that can have them in, and then I need to go to the moon. That's right. What I need.
That's right.
And then the second part I saw, it was not the geysers, actually. I didn't care for them. I cared for when you ran around the moon and you saw the dust storm pass, the small dust things. I was like, shit, yeah, that makes me feel immersed.
Yep. We got some more shots coming out of that. Bristol, what were your impressions of this, like the moon and all that stuff?
I like it. I mean, I like they're not all the same.
No.
Clearly, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of different, where the protrusions of the rock and stuff. Like they all look very fucking different. So that's for me instantly a cool thing. Yeah, I kind of like the smoky mist stuff they're giving off.
I'm
Like,
really
I like
wondering if those actually impact the environment or not. You know, Toy, what do you think? Do you think like you could actually get damaged or burned by some of the gases on these type of geysers, or do you think they're just their visual effect?
You know, I think they'll get there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're going to be able to mine those things eventually, remember? So
I would think they'd put some sort of cool like thermo generator or something. If you put like a base there, maybe you could tap some of the resources of those and like actually use thermodynamics and pull it out. That'd be amazing. So I'm really hopeful for some of the stuff there. And,
they look big. Look at the size of that Ursa rover compared to
it's-
it too, right?
They're like 2 to 3 times
they're
as
big.
tall. They're big. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see like if they let us dive into that to a different level and actually, you know, harness that energy or do something with it. Because I mean the aesthetics are amazing. There's no doubt in Star Citizen the visuals are amazing, but my hope is that we'll be able to over time, obviously not when they first roll it out, but we'll be able to interact with some of these items and actually do some stuff that will just make it more immersive for the game. Because I mean, you can only look at the eye candy so much before it's actually got to have something to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To follow up on that, I don't think most of them will do damage at all because they're going to keep it special.
There's
But
no
I do
atmosphere,
believe-
right? So yeah, probably none
Yeah.
of that.
Well, it can still do damage in space, but it's more like I don't think if they want it to be everything venting is going to be damaged things. It's probably more going to be like most of it is just going to be there to look cool, and then there's going to be those few times where it's going to be extra thick or something, and you know, okay, this is bad.
Yeah, this is bad. My suit is melting. Look out. This is not good. I don't think this is normal. All right, the next update that we're looking at, they're talking about cinematics. And they snuck in a couple little tidbits on where they're at developing Squadron 42. And they've talked a little bit about how they're churning through the performance capture scenes in all the Squadron 42 chapters. So that's pretty cool to know. And, you know, if you look at his screen when you're watching him here, they've hired on a new designer named, I think they said his name was Philip. They talked about the fact that while they're churning through all these things, they've had some scene updates and all that stuff. And if you look, you can see some of the scenes that we're familiar with from the original walkthrough on the Idris and whatnot from what we saw.
The Morrow tour.
Yeah, the Morrow tour.
I was going to say it
looked
looked very similar. That setup looks very similar to the Morrow tour.
Yeah, but graphically off the charts by comparison, you know, it's like you're seeing elements of stuff coming off the ships and do things and new character elements and stuff. So I'll be interested in how much the Morrow tour has been modified or skinned up or all those type of things. What else they say? Say pushing all the stories that take place in the Shubin facility. So they're trying to get that finalized. So they're kind of working through that whole mesh of stuff. They're really focusing on things that occur in different places in the story. And they can't talk too much about it because they don't want to give us too much, right? But it's good to know that at least they're a little more comfortable in like letting us know that they're working on Squadron 42 elements rather than being dead silent like they have been. You know?
Well, I think because you always hear them whenever they talk about Squadron 42 is we don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, I'm okay with that. The only thing like 3.0 news and Squadron 42, I just want to know how far are you? That's all
I would
need
like to see
know.
a progress on Squadron 42, like some sort of chart and stuff. And, you know, any thoughts why they might not show us that? Like, Toy, what do you think? Do you think there's a reason why they might not show us, like, where they're at with Squadron 42?
I think because they don't have any clue because, you know how Chris is. You know, he's not going to say it's ready till he thinks it's ready. And
Calling Gary Oldman for reshoots already?
You know, I would not be surprised one bit.
Don't tell anybody where we're calling Gary back.
Now that they have the better facial stuff
God.
going on, they might redo all of that. So it would not surprise me.
You never know. I hope not. I hope they stick to where they're at and keep moving forward because it feels like it's taken this much into the year for me, but it feels like we're making progress now. It really does because the beginning of this year, after they dropped, Star Marine, okay, it was like, okay, we got this module. I felt like nothing was happening for a while. And I knew there was, I knew they were working on stuff, but they just left me with a feeling that where's the progress at? Where are we going? Come on, what's going on? And it took a while, but once we got the more recent update and the schedule, now I feel like, okay, now we can kind of watch and see where they're at, along with them month to month, week to week, and stuff like that. So as long as they keep updating that and they keep on that, I have no complaints at all, because I can kind of know what I'm doing and know where I needed to be and where my headspace needs to be thinking about as far as the progress goes on it. So
I agree with you fully there. It's really important that they're now sharing, because silent for so.
Yeah,
I was freaking. We were sitting there like, why? Because they promised something, didn't deliver, and didn't say anything.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm with you there now. When they're communicating like they are right now, ATV. Oh man.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, the update section ATV is always good. Sometimes the second half feels tacked on, like filler and stuff like that. But even this episode, I know Toy doesn't necessarily agree with me, but even this episode, I wasn't bored by the QA thing. I really wasn't. It's like, normally I would say the QA thing, I'd be like, whatever, but they shot it in a way that I didn't mind it. I really didn't. I didn't feel like, oh, this is another lighting episode. I don't know.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the QA section later?
Well, not really. We'll kind of go over that. So you can dive into that as you want to go. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I saw ATV live here, and this afternoon for me, but I was almost getting teary-eyed by the end when that one guy talked about what Aaron Roberts said to him, like,
"Oh, you're not just a QA.
Don't ever say you're not just QA.
Yeah,
you are part of the team."
That's right.
Is what I'm an officer in the National Guard, and for me, that's leadership.
Yep.
Making everyone is part of the team. No matter if you are the cleaner, you're part of the team, because without you, the entire team doesn't work. It needs all the parts, like a spaceship and engines and stuff like that. So when I saw that part live, I was getting blurry-eyed. It was like, oh man, that is so cool.
And I love that the Roberts brothers, I mean, both Aaron and Chris, they have that mentality where they try to make people feel a part of the team. They try to let everybody know every person is not just a cog in the wheel or in the machine. They are a human being that's important to the overall development of the game. And you see, and the thing is, you also see people progress. Like, how many people have we seen on the community team, or people we watch week to week, get promoted, get different job titles? People come in raw and then they get moved up in the company. You don't see that. I mean, we don't get to see that as gamers and stuff. And to me, that just means they're executing within the company. People are getting promoted based on merit. When they accomplish goals, they're getting moved up. And to me, that also signifies even the background, even though they don't highlight that, leadership activity and leadership roles, because they're saying, hey, you're doing a good fucking job. We need you to move up here. And I love that about their management team. As much as everybody dogs on their management team, and yes, they've made some piss poor marketing decisions over the years, I feel like they're still a family.
No kidding.
Yeah, exactly. They're still a family, and they take care of their people. And as long as that root concept is there, and they're still communicating with us, I think we still are on a path for something great. So, you got to build those points like that. You can't just skin it all, pink dragonfly. But yeah, and do it that way. So I think the pink's nice without the kitten on it. Can we get the option without that? That'd be great.
I'm actually going for the pink dragonfly just to piss.
Well, I want one too. Could we imagine like an armada of pink dragonflies coming at somebody? It's like, we will blot out the sky with our space kittens.
Basically, I'm going to use mine for pulling it out when Duck is around.
I want to know how much they all cringe every time we call it Hello Kitty. Because I've probably dropped that like 50 times. They're probably waiting for like a letter of like cease and desist from the Hello Kitty brand.
It's Hello Space
Call
Kitty.
Call it Space Kitty, yeah.
It's Space Kitty. But it looks like Hello Kitty. I'm sorry. You fit Hello Kitty in a spacesuit. I don't know.
But worst idea ever.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah.
I can't say anything about copyright infringement, man.
Yeah.
About BB88 t-shirts and shit. Red one and that.
There you go.
I'm not saying shit. I'm staying out of this argument, man.
No, the only thing about the whole Space Kitten thing that bothered me is the person most excited about it that I know of personally is my 7-year-old daughter. And I'm like,
I was gonna say, it's a very niche thing.
are
but
you targeting?
I get that.
I don't think that's their market group. I don't see a lot of fathers going out and say, "Oh, you want to get into Star Citizen, honey? Let me go out and buy you some spaceships for this highly expensive game that takes a lot of graphics." I just don't see it. I just don't know.
I'm seeing at most 10% getting happy about that, and the 90% of players are going to be like, "Fuck no." So I was really sad and disappointed that they've chosen that as their focus instead of either you can get a pink one or you can get something else
or different characters, or how about just a little space dude or something like that. I think they forced it too much for the marketing. We talked a little bit about this with the other guys last week. It just feels very forced. It feels like they're trying to create a new meme to me since they've like basically beat Big Benny to death. So I think they're just trying to create something like that.
But I have a question.
They should have made those, not the Hello Kitty or whatever it is. They should have done it as like bobbleheads and shit. You know what I mean?
Something like that would have
Chris
been
Roberts, Aaron Roberts, a dancing Ben and shit. Like,
if they wanted to, they should have. They're trying to say this is in lore, and I just don't. I don't get it personally.
I don't know. Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Toy?
Oh, I had a question about this referral thing because if you got one referral within this time frame they had going on, you get the T-shirt, right?
Yeah,
in-game
for the
T-shirt?
contest, yes.
So my question is I had like a bunch of prospects, and yesterday one of those prospects actually bought a package. But he's had he was in the prospect forever, but it actually hadn't gone to the next level yet because he hadn't actually purchased a package, but now he did. Does that T-shirt show up immediately, or is that going to be something they add in later? Because I didn't see it.
I don't know that you'll get it.
I think that would be after the end of the competition. Yeah.
It's either that, but I question whether are they going to honor those if you originally got the prospect before the contest, because I know
that's what I'm.
I don't think it's pro contest. I think it's only during competition.
But see, he hadn't gone from prospect to recruit until yesterday.
That's what I mean. But that was during the competition, so you may get that. But
I don't know. That's a great question, though. We should ask. I might put something in the concierge about that. They'll probably get back to us and let us know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
That'd be cool.
I'm not, a fan of the Hello Space Kitty thing. Might as well if I get. Yeah. Yeah.
You want your stuff.
I did get another prospect, so why not?
Why not? No, I say that, and this is the other thing. I have no problem with the T-shirt. I have no problem with the Space Kitten. I have the problem that they've made that part of this contest to do. It just doesn't make sense. It feels very forced to me. If they just would have dropped a shirt inside like one of the stores and it had the kitten on it, we would have latched onto it, and there would have been people like, "Oh, look at this," and stuff like that, and probably made it something. But now that they kind of forced it on us, I just feel like it's kind of, I don't like it as much. It's like they just needed to keep adding a variety of cool T-shirts inside the game and little characters and memes and stuff, and let us latch onto something. Because what made the whole Benny's Noodles cool was the fact it was just a vending machine. That's all it was. And then we started getting into it and like doing stuff with it and all that, and that's why it blew up. I just think it was too forced otherwise. It really was. So I don't know. And they're supposed to have more characters roll out. So we're gonna have a whole Space Kitten line, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, count me out of that part.
Yeah, I'm like, can we get some more stuff there? And it's nothing about it being like animated.
We're gonna get like stuff. Planetary Kitty, EVA Kitty.
Well, yeah, you're gonna. Well, I don't know much about Hello Kitty. We could always bring my daughter in. We could ask her, but I'm sure there's going to be more of those type of characters from that series. And just variety and stuff like that. So we might have to go to the expert. Maybe next SpaceBro show, we'll have the expert stay up late and come in here. And it's like, let's go to our expert panel. And, and her and her friends can tell us all about, like, the potential different Hello Kitty characters that could be implemented into the game.
Well, they have enough different, like, manufacturers. They should come out with, a couple. Not every manufacturer should have a little, mascot or something. But at least a couple of those manufacturers, somebody could come up with a cool design for a couple of those.
Yeah.
But don't say anything. Just come out with the mascot and leave it alone like they did with Big Benny's.
Yep.
And I know that thing would take right off.
I'm shocked that they haven't done yet? And this might speak volumes to like the future of Sata Ball in this game and all that stuff. Why don't we have a major Sata Ball team? Why isn't there like some lore about this Seder Ball team and they constantly give news updates and hype in the background? I mean, that'd be a great meme. If we have all these sports shirts in real life, what happens if they just sold like sports team swag? Maybe there's like you have a Navy and Army group inside football, college football. Why wouldn't they have like some sort of UEE Seder Ball team or something like that? I mean,
we haven't even heard a drop about Seder Ball until this last what was it? It wasn't the ATV. It was the one before that. They mentioned Seder Ball in
just
it.
in passing.
Yeah,
Seder Ball. That was about depth.
I want that in the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I'm saying I would buy swag for shirts and stuff that were like if they were cool looking sports shirts and stuff like jersey stuff and all that. I mean, that'd be cool, and you can get unisex stuff on that. I feel like it's an opportunity missed. Instead, they go with Space Kitten.
I can actually see that giving us something to do while the game is being developed.
Yeah.
Like if they came out with like 4 or 5 teams and then started some imaginary leagues going on when you could follow the results.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
Don't even have to do anything like a little text and then a score this week. Like the team
but what is it they do? It's fantasy league, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you pick your fucking 10 players and go, oh, these are my team I want. And oh, look, this guy scored 3 goals, so you get 10 points for each goal he scored.
And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I miss when they did the news thing. Like, where Sandy like pretended she was a news reporter, even though it was a little blip. I missed that. I kind of liked that whole thing. And I'm not a big like cosplay person, but I liked it when they did the little news report and then they could do like a sports thing. And in sports, blah, blah, blah. They, you don't even have to have Seder Ball in the game. Just throw it in there. That'd be great. And then we could throw money at it. Throw like, hey, I don't even know what the team's stats are, but we're gonna say I'm gonna bet on the UEE Pirates. We're gonna win this next week and all that stuff. So
and imagine the streamers if they adopted and I'm a fan of in the corner.
Yeah,
Crusaders.
There you go.
That would be hilarious, man.
I think it'd be really good.
It doesn't cost them much.
Yep, I think it'd be good. It didn't cost him anything. It was like 5 minutes of writing a little deal, just like take the latest sports game and just replace the 2 names with 2 fake Seder Ball teams, and you got it. I mean,
they got enough writers. They can come up with the whole history of Seder Ball.
Yeah, if they can come up with a lore background for Star Kitten or whatever, I'm sure they can come up with some Seder Ball.
That would kick off so well as well,
Yeah.
A Seder Ball.
There you go. Like Thrace said, the Crusaders.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
To Reddit, everyone.
Yeah, to Reddit. Say you heard it first on the SpaceBro show, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So but I think
we got to push that.
That'd be good.
Definitely, that'd be a really cool thing. I think people would get beyond that, and even we could create a team as well, like and have streamers' names in the
team. If they're not going to do it, then we'll do it. Why not? We'll make our own fiction writing if they're not going to do it themselves. So we'll figure it out.
The terrors. The Terrors, that's awesome.
Well, I mean, we have the Pirates in baseball now, and they got the Buccaneers football team. You could make, like, the Van Duel, and it'd just be some comical-looking Van Duel thing, and it's like, they're just making fun of, like, some stuff that's going on. So you can have all kinds of
We need a team called We're Not Pirates, and it's sponsored by Drake.
There you go. We're sponsored by Drake, the whole new group like that. I think it'd be coolest if you had a team named like the Van Duelers or something like that, and then you can sit there and then there's a controversy over their name, like, hey, we have people dying out there fighting for the service against these guys, and you're making fun of a sports league name, so you have protesters going around trying to get the name changed for the Van Duel. It'd be perfect.
Like the Indians, right?
We could scrap all of all the other shit we had planned to talk about and just talk about this for the next. This is such a great topic.
We'll flesh this out. Yeah.
Shit.
Flesh it all the way out.
I can see streamers jumping on this. I can see streamers jumping.
Why not? It's content. It'd be fun.
It's fun. Yeah, exactly. As you said, it's fun.
So we could talk about that all night, but if we did that, then we wouldn't be able to look at more eye candy and stuff. And we got to look at more eye candy because.
I can't.
Yeah. These shots of some of these areas where you see Levski and Dalamar, yeah.
When I saw that, I was like,
I know.
I can't wait to explore this place.
And it's so exciting because they're talking about elements in this, and this is the stuff that got me really excited too, because they're talking about not only fleshing out the territorial elements, because it's kind of reciprocal. They constantly talk about that. But they're talking about changes to the exterior, how they're modifying it to accept ground vehicles from players going out and stuff. And there's garages, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be so cool. So, and just look at that. It's so expansive. It's like you're looking inside one of those little base areas. But no, that's just a small portion of all the area. And I wonder how many Easter eggs they're gonna have out there. You know, they're gonna have some little things like, oh, you're gonna find that you didn't think you should have, and people are gonna be like, "There's a shipwreck over here. You should have checked it out," you know, or something.
I always hated that in WoW and all those other games because that's what I would do. I would explore the outer edges of the map looking for stuff, and they never had anything.
Yeah.
I hope they add this, and it's from the letter that Chris wrote. They will add stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
so.
but we don't know
already
it necessarily. It'd be cool if they dropped like one wrecked Idris or Bengal carrier or something like we saw in the desert thing. If they just had one in there somewhere where you could just go up there and maybe explore part of it broke off or something like that.
I've been told people still haven't found every Easter egg in 2.6. There's still stuff out that people don't know
I can
about.
believe it with the lack of population in 2.6 though. I can believe that. I really can. I mean, like, I thought those Starfarer wrecks that they added in were amazing. You know, like out there. And those are really cool. I mean, that was one of my most fun moments, just to go out there and see these wrecks, and they have data pads and corpses floating inside and stuff. And I'm like, there you go. You know, of course, my daughter thought it was a little over the top. She was like, "Daddy, why is there dead people floating in the spaceship?" I'm like, "Don't worry. Look at the star kitten. It's okay. Just look at the star kitten.
Look at the level of detail on those dead people."
Yep. It was good.
One thing I explored the damage state of the Starfarer the other day, and one of the hallways in the back of the Starfarer, when it's heavily damaged, it gets all the venting, and then the light turns off, and there's this blinking light going towards you. I'm like, imagine if an alien just came out of the darkness.
I know. I am so waiting for that, especially with, I can't remember which developer it is, but it's one of the guys that works a lot on the capital ships. He took part in a lot of the alien developments for like Alien Isolation and some of that stuff. So I know he's got some background in it, and you're starting to see some of that stuff, that type of artwork come out in the ships, like the latest Banu Defender ship, right? You see those sliding shutters that look so like organic, something I'd see in like an Aliens movie or something. So I'm like, that looks really cool. So we're seeing a lot of influences from some of our favorite games and films out there. So that's really exciting as well.
Oh, yeah. And imagine this for being Elvor.
It's so big. It's like, you cannot tell me. I mean, I really, even though these are like 3 moons, you cannot tell me they're going to try to launch this with just 24-person cap. I mean, you could fit 24 people in the fucking that base, and you know, and there's 3 separate moons to go to and everything else. I'm like, you'll be very lonely because you won't see anybody ever.
Well, that still requires them fixing the group with friends thing before 3.0.
Well, I think on the schedule, I'll have to double check to be sure. I don't think they're working on the party system until 3.1, and I was just like, what?
Oh,
I was like, really?
Man, I have so much issues grouping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think me and Kazi spent like an hour trying to get the same server the other day. It was just, it's one of those things. It's an MMO, even though it's an alpha. I mean, you want to play with your friends. That's half the point, you know.
There's a shot there, and it shows, I think, 4 compounds next to each other, looking down from like a big high cliff.
Yeah, it'll pull back here when it cycles through.
How many people are gonna just fucking sit on their camp and just snipe down at people in there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're probably gonna get public enemy faster.
That emergent gameplay. Well, is there a comm link there? You would think there'd be, because there's a base, right? You'd think you'd have some sort of comm link there that would, you know, make somebody go criminal.
Look, pew pew, sitting on that rock. Yeah,
there it is, right there.
You got a great look over onto all 4 of them. Actually, it's pretty surrounded from all sides of the mountains. If you get high enough, you've got good visual.
Yeah, we'll have Bristol over here like this. It'll be sitting there. Pew 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 pew. Right down there. It'll be amazing. It's like, you better have a hell of a scope for that.
You know what I haven't seen yet?
What's that?
And I can't wait to see it. I've seen the players walk on the flat surface, but I want to see how they're going to climb up these mountains.
You know, that's true. I haven't
and
seen
how the
anybody
vehicles are
traverse
going to climb up the
elevation
mountain.
yet.
Yeah, I mean, the best we've seen is stairs.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just intentional or not. I never thought of that. I've never seen anybody walk up any of the little ridges on the hills or anything to any amount. I don't know.
I mean, in all these videos we've seen lately of them doing the little NPCs walking around in circles and all this stuff, it's never across elevations differences. And we're going to have every single planet's going to have hills and valleys
That's
and
true.
everything else. So
That's really true.
Well, we did see some like a few months ago. We saw the dragonfly going across the planet when there were some holes.
Well,
and stuff
and they
like that
have
in
to,
it.
because like
And
right
then
here you
did
see
that
him.
jaunty thing.
So he's walking across flat ground, but there's so much terrain.
Yeah,
you
but they
have to-
speed it up as well. You see
Yeah.
it, and when they do that fast walk, he goes straight over the holes. He doesn't like dip into the hole. It just.
But the dragonfly actually dipped in and then
Oh yeah.
and stuff. So
That's true.
so
But I mean,
there's
how's
some
it gonna-
thing working.
What's your
Yeah.
guy gonna do when you're trying to walk up a fucking a steep
We'll
cliff?
see.
like-
Yeah, because he should lean into it. I wonder if they have the animations done for all that or not.
we'll see in some of the earlier versions of the planets and stuff, when the guy was walking around, you could tell it looked like he was walking like 4 or 5 inches above the terrain too. You know, you could see his feet. It didn't look like they were actually down on the ground surface. So
Well, there's actually a scene coming up, I think, where we have some of the walking. They're talking about how they've weighted it down and they've made it actually where they have better connection to the ground and you feel like you have weight and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
that's why I want to see that with elevation change.
Yeah,
Though.
that'd be interesting. Yeah, here's some of the cloud environments you were talking about earlier, Duck. You know, with the whole ambience and the environment and stuff. Yeah, it's really
I
cool.
like
and
that
I was like,
fog.
fuck yeah.
This is my favorite
And
scene
then
out of this ATV.
if you look
to be
further
honest.
down into the valleys there, just to the left, you can see like the it's like a dust breeze just over the.
Yeah.
It looks all. It's so
And
cool.
see, here he's moving over terrain. It's not really steep, though. It's just kind of like gradual and stuff. And then you'll see a shadow there when he looks back because as he's rotating the camera, which is crazy to me. So that means his head just spun around backwards. So they're moving the camera. Yeah, because he's running forward. It's like, ah. So, but that shot right here, that shot is amazing to me because you have. It
Oh
looks
shit!
like.
I didn't notice the planet in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah. It looks like a scene off of episode 7, Star Wars to me. You know, like she's walking through the desert. You see like their planet like right there through the mist. It's amazing to me. And I just can't wait to get on these trains.
Was it the last ATV? Go ahead.
This is the ATV that just came out. I was watching this on my 55-inch.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw that part there, I was like, I'm gonna be standing just a place like this, and I'm just gonna admire the view for a long time, man. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's amazing.
But-
And, you know, and it
was
looks like he's
funny,
going down the
we had a
valley
good-
there.
I had a good chat to Brian when he was at BristolBoy88. I said, he was like, what are you going to do when 3.0 comes out? And I said, a lot of things, but like, you know, one of the things I really want to do is getting a ship or a buggy or whatever and find somewhere and watch the sunset and then literally move 2 or 3 miles and then land and watch it set again and just continuously go and just see how
See that rotation
much
of how,
difference. See the different
That's a
sunsets in
great
the different
idea.
like sky, like that'd be really cool, man.
Everybody get your cameras
So-
ready. Get your print screens going because that's what it's going to be so many cool snapshots
But
people get
the-
off this.
The first thing I'm gonna do is like approach for entry, and I'm not sure if it's called ComStab, whatever it is. I mean, you can turn your ship around and you still go the same vector.
Yeah, where you turn ComStab off so that it's no longer
Yeah,
stabilized and you can pivot.
yeah. So I'm gonna do that and enter the atmosphere backwards in my ship.
I want to see if you burn up.
It's decoupled you're talking about.
Decoupled. Sorry,
yeah.
yeah. So aim towards decoupled, look backwards, and enter the atmosphere and see what happens.
You
Great.
don't want to enter the atmosphere engines first. well, we do got shields though. So
we
yeah,
want to
shield-
experiment and see if you can.
Yeah, science.
Come in,
science.
ask first, see what happens. You know, might as well test it out.
What I want to see is, and I haven't seen this in any of these videos because the lights are always static on these things, but I would like to see a time lapse of the actual sun going across the sky. That would be very,
Yeah,
very cool.
That'd be cool. You know what we'll do, Toy, to set that up because we probably won't be able to do it in game. We'll go to a planet. I'll sit down and I'll set up my GoPro on the screen. And we'll see if it moves, and I'll come back 16 hours later if the game holds up, and we'll have a motion cap via screen.
Time lapse.
We'll do that.
I mean,
stuff,
I think
so.
their soul,
time-lapse.
their soul editor that they got doesn't actually have the planets rotating in the system
It
yet.
might not yet. I don't know.
It seems to me like they already have the tech for it up and running with all the rotation.
We'll see.
That's what I gathered from what
It sounds like the
I've
text
seen him
there-
grab the sun and drag the sun around, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen actual planets rotating in the orbits and stuff like that yet on
A
any.
couple ATVs ago, they showed they had, like what Duck was talking about, they had the tech. We haven't seen it actually done in a scene, though. We've seen they have the tech, and they say these are the orbits, and this is the orbiter, where it actually shows you drop the planets, make their orbits, and they'll do it. But we haven't seen them do it on the actual planets yet, no.
Yeah, because
would
they
be
could
cool.
do a time lapse themselves.
Yeah,
You know,
just fast forward the game.
yeah.
I mean, they control time. They are the gods
that would
of
be
creation.
awesome. I mean, that I would sit there mesmerized for an ATV if they just did that across different moons
Can you imagine,
with
like,
the planets rotating by and the sun coming by and
when
the
they
moon
get
coming
environmental effects with like rainstorms and snow, and you could like do a time lapse and shit like snows, and rains come through and clouds? That'd be just amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
stuff.
hopefully the different seasons too. That'd be cool.
Well, they want to. They said that's a goal they have. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it for sure. But definitely a goal of theirs to get those things going. Let's see what's next. Okay, so this next one, we'll see here. Yep, this is just talking more about some of the level design and stuff, and they flashed through a little bit of this. Basically talked about the finished design pass in the outpost, handed them off to the art team. They started integrating the Levski into the procedural version of Delamar. So they basically, like everything else, they created outside of that as a regular skin, and they start implementing that into what they already had as a working system in Delamar on the dev server.
I'm so mad at them.
Why?
Because they show all these beautiful pictures of all these rovers. They've had one rover sale.
I
And they've
know.
never
That
had them back
still
since.
blows my mind. It still blows my mind.
And I just want one. I need one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
badly.
because I've waited too, and I was like, oh, I'll get it next sale. And then they've never had them back.
Yeah. And NVIDIA's right. He said they did show an ATV where they showed the rotation of a planet, and they showed an asset in the water, and that way you could see the rotation through the mirror of the water sky. But again, it was dev build. Like, it wasn't what we're exactly talking about. It's a little different perspective. We want to see that like typical GoPro time lapse thing where you see the clouds go over and the sun goes by and all that stuff from the planetary surface out. I want to see one of those, and that would be cool. But yeah, the rover's been a question me and Toy have been talking about for a long time because they had one sale on it. We both held off because it was a $50 add-on, We're like, oh, they'll release again. And this is before...
With no LTI.
With no LTI. They said something like confusing, like the LTI...
I've got from a Macau side.
That's cool. They said something about the LTI was tied to your spaceship, which made no sense either, because if you bought a standalone rover, what would... I don't get that at all. But they never had an sale on the rovers. And they've had sales on the Dragonflies at least 2 to 3 times since then. And not one rover sale. What's the deal? I mean, why aren't they selling the rover, even if it's in a concept form?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And as one who is kind of explore planets with my Starfarer,
Yeah.
I want a Dragonfly in there, and I hope that I can fit the rover in through the doors. But it seems from these pictures we've just seen, it seems like it's low enough to get in through the low height of the hangar doors there. So
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that damn thing to be on sale.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I think they're missing a great opportunity, several opportunities of selling the freaking rover. I mean, sure, they'll sell it when 3.0 comes out, but I mean, unless there's an issue with the rover, why not sell in the concept beforehand? I would drop a couple $100 in rovers right now.
Here's a marketing question. 3.0 comes out, and you haven't sold a single rover until then, and suddenly you drop back in the rover, $90.
I could see them doing that.
But
I hope not. That's double what it was.
yeah, but like I said, the initial sale wasn't even a LTI option for any package either. So
Yeah, and what happens to those rovers before? I mean, you know what I mean? I'm sure they're going to slap whatever type of insurance they give for the other ones, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I can see it being a hype sale because we got planets to explore, and if you want to do it in style and speed, you need either a Dragonfly or a rover to have fun with it.
Yeah.
So I can technically see the part of holding back. It's a good thing.
And I don't
no
even
matter
care if they have it ready for us to
price.
have. I don't care if it's hangar ready. I don't care about it. I just want to know I have one in my digital inventory. That way I'm covered on it. I want some rovers. So I'm not asking you to put it out, CIG. I'm just asking you to let me spend my money. So
I'll just take my grey cat if not. I'm cool.
you ride the golf cart. I want a rover. It's like I'll be sitting there. I'll be like driving the rover, and all of a sudden the sand dune, and I'll see Bristol Boy go, Bristol Boy, doing a back roll, jumping over the rover. It's like, what is that? Golf cart.
I still need 4 more recruits so I can get my friggin' gray cat.
I need 2 more, and I get the Gladius.
Oh,
Nice.
there you go.
So close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best-
I'm going for a total of 10, and then I'm gonna pass on the keys.
That's
to
really all
someone
you need
else.
because the next few are like in arena commander only and stuff like that, you know. So
And then the next is 75, so it's like
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it jumps from 10 to 25, right? And then to 45.
yeah,
10, 25, 42, 75,
Yeah.
100,
Yeah.
200, 500.
I
And
just
it's only
hope
at 75.
my
enough.
dream is to lifetime get the javelin. I have no aspirations that we'll get to Gamescom or anything. Although I'd love to go. So guys, come on! Only 2,896 more referrals. We can do it. We can do it, team.
Yeah,
But lifetime over the next few years and stuff, it would be great if I eventually got
Yep.
2,000 and got a Jav out of that. That would just be more affirming to me that I brought that many people to the game, because I know we brought hundreds of people to the game, no doubt, for sure. But it would be nice to do that.
How many do you have now, Mitauchi?
42.
42. Ooh, that's a good number.
It is a good number. Or 46 now. Might be 42, 46. But I don't have nearly as many. But then again, I mean, like a lot of other streamers, and Board Gamer had a great comment on this. Streamers are kind of a disadvantage because we only catch people live. We're right here. And most of us also talk people down, right? We're like, buy it, check it out, do the free fly, don't drop my cash, because we don't want a lot of people with buyer's remorse. We want people to enjoy the game for what it is right now. And if they're excited like we are about following the development of it, sure, join the club, do it, man. But you don't have to spend a dime to do that,
Yeah.
The main thing for me is that, people that continue to follow the game aren't bitter vets. I don't want to create bitter vets. People drop a couple $100 and like, oh, fuck this shit. And that's it. Because we get that not just in Star Citizen, in lots of games. There's so much buyer remorse anymore with people just buying a game off the commercial, not giving it a chance, not watching it, not really doing the research and seeing what's up. And that's fine for a Call of Duty game that's out every year. But when you're buying it in an MMO, I think a little more research is involved in a lot of those things, especially still something in development like this.
The interesting thing is, in the old days, that's how we bought things. Oh man, look at the art on this box. I'm gonna try this game, and then you come home and it's total shit, and you're like, nah, fuck it. And nowadays, there's people like, no, I want my money back.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot.
And I've had several people, like, even we'll push out more YouTubes and stuff like that, of this show and everything, and I'll have people on there going, they're just raging about Star Citizen or raging about they've spent money or all this stuff, and I'm like, then get your money back.
Don't spend any money.
Yeah, get a refund. It's like, I don't want you to spend money into my video game just to make it a platform so you can emo out on it. Just get your money back. I mean, because there's no doubt that I know people personally who have gotten refunds on certain objects or things, and they had buyer remorse and stuff. Just get your money back and move along. You don't need, I don't know, I would feel like you don't see me go over to Star Wars Battlefront, which I hated that game. Played it for 5 hours, thought it was the biggest piece of shit ever. And I am a Star Wars junkie, right? But that game mechanically just brought the FPS player out in me and saying, this is a piece of shit. I don't go over on their forums every day and go, this is a scam, this is bullshit, EA. I don't understand like why people waste their time and do that. Why not move on and find something you enjoy? I mean, that's
and how often have they said, look, you're not buying these ships, you're help funding the development.
Yeah.
This is a Kickstarter to keep this game going.
Yep.
This isn't you're getting something for your money. This is you donating your money.
Yeah, because you can get all the stuff for just in-game money when the game comes out. If that's if you're worried about cash, and never spend more than what you actually can afford to spend. I mean, that's just silly. People I think get really competitive on how much they spend in a game. Don't worry, guys. Clifford already won, so you can't outspend Clifford. If you're outspend Clifford, then you're crazy. So it's not a competition. That buy the way your level of what you feel support wise for the game. Buy what you can financially, handle. And if you're all doubtful about that, spend less than what Star Wars Battlefront costs. Spend $45 and be done with it and wait till the game comes out. That's what I say. I have a lot of friends still at the $45 mark because they're not going to play or mess with it until there's more content. And that's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay.
Well, I'm planning to push it a bit more on people once 3.0 comes out, because then I believe there's not a sandboxy more feel. And if the game is still going to be the price it is now, where you basically, if you buy the full pack, you get a ship for $30, you get the multiplayer game for $15, and then you get the Squadron 42 single player game for $15. I'm going to push that and say buy now, because you get one game each for $15, and then a ship as well. So that's going to be my stick once.
And I don't think it'll be that big a push, because I mean, when people see us having fun, even in what we do now, that's why they want to buy it. They want to sit there and see that stuff.
And you get so much of your money's worth right now with what they got in a pre-alpha game.
Yeah. If you're into this type of stuff, if you're not a big space guy, or if you're not into this type of thing, and you're not excited about following game development, I totally understand not getting this game. I have friends that they're not sci-fi guys. They don't like space. They'll never play Star Citizen. It doesn't matter if you could, like, wear a full bodysuit and, like, you could, go up, fly out and get blowjobs in space. They will never play Star Citizen ever. That's just how it is.
Sign me up.
There you go. But that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not for everybody. So I don't want people to feel the peer pressure of, like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Do it no matter what. But if you like this type of shit, if you're an Elite Dangerous player and you're, like, buying the DLCs over there and stuff, and you're spending money on other space games, I don't see how you could not drop 45 on this. I just don't even understand it. It doesn't comprehend in my brain. It's like I've wasted more money on other games I've spent less than 10 hours worth of game time on this year than what I've spent in Star Citizen this year. And I feel like it's time to start making up for it. So as soon as 3.0 comes out, we're going to be dropping some more coin on it for sure. So we got to do it. I'm not scared. They just got to give me something to get some more, little something. All right, here's something that probably will relate actually to what Toy was talking about earlier. The fact of characters, like, we haven't seen a lot on the verticalities and stuff. Even here, we haven't seen anything other than flat ground, but they're definitely working on the dynamics of, like, motion control, weighted, making sure they feel weighted when they're walking or running or spinning or any of that stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
All those things. Because
go ahead. It's the smoothness of the transition in locomotion, as they call it. So as he's taking different turns and leans, it's not a static motion. It's very, very fluid and smooth, which to the player watching is very, very subtle. Like, it's a small thing, you know what I mean, to do, to have it.
Well, it's hard to make a character look smooth at all speeds, right? When you're walking, when you're running, when you're leaning, when you're jumping, and all that stuff. And I think they've did a bang-up job at it now. There are some animation glitches that we still get.
Shoulders when it leans here.
Absolutely.
Like,
one of the things.
Look at the best part.
Go ahead.
We're just seeing the start of it.
Yes.
Currently, they're still developing all of these things, like we've seen over the last few months when they've been showing off these videos, and it's still new. It's still being worked upon, and I'm like, man, this is going to be sweet, because one of the things that always annoys me with these kind of games, well, any game where you have characters running around and doing FPS stuff, it's like, it's not real. It doesn't look real at all. You basically got people running all over, and it's like...
Or it doesn't feel real. It's like it feels really artificial and stuff like that, And I think this game is capturing the look and feel that's very... I won't say hyper-realistic, but it feels very good. It looks very well, and it feels very good when you control it. And I really appreciate the fact they're taking a lot of time to do that.
I want to see a zigzag.
The what?
Sorry. I want to see a zigzag,
Well, they've done a lot. They were doing a lot of that in the... What episode was that? That was several episodes ago when we saw they had all the multiple people. Remember when they had multiple character models and they were doing all the pathing things? And they had people juking. They were doing jukes, they call it. They don't call it zigzag.
Were they doing a serpentine one?
Yeah, they're doing a juke, but the guy does more. It looks almost like a football, like when you juke somebody. You run up and you lean and you cut back and do like that sort of stuff. So it was almost like running with a football, which I actually would like to see in this, because that would be a good experiment to see that zigzag type thing, like do the jukes and the moves and stuff like that. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah. One of the things I'm looking forward to is once they combine fluid movement with the new breath system they're working upon. Once that gets combined, I'm like so stoked for that, because I love that realism and that added layer because as a soldier I'm kind of like, no, you can't run down constantly and then just do headshots all the time in real life. That's never gonna happen unless you're like the top of the top of the top, and then you can only do it for a short while anyways.
Yeah.
So for me, it's getting all these things in, the smoothness of the movement, the breath things going up and down. You can't sprint all the time, and you can hear the blood pounding. I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm so gonna live into this. So all of this going up in this. Man.
I'm into. I just hope they don't add too many artificial mechanics. You know, like I still have some worry about the suit punctures and all these other elements. I just don't want them to keep layering extra and extra and extra and extra stuff on top. Because I'm like, if I'm in a gunfight and I'm in a Space Marine armor, I should either be able to tank some damage, have a self-sealing suit, or it should be a severe enough wound where I'm dead. You know, it's like it's kind of if I have to micromanage and duct tape every hole that comes into my suit, I'll be like, shh, 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 which might be hyper realistic, but it doesn't sound fun. So we'll just see where it lies and how it feels when it comes out. But I'm a little bit concerned with that.
But look at it the cool way. You're buying the cheap suit, but still has a lot of armor, but doesn't have self-repair. That's where it could come in.
And I'm okay with that variable. I'm okay with that. Like if I'm wearing a regular flight suit and I think I'm going to go out there and be like Captain Kidd, like amazing and all this stuff, and I get hit one time, I start getting holes in my suit. Yeah, maybe I should spend a little more on my armor. Yeah. But like if I'm in a heavy suit and somebody's shooting small arms at me, I should be able to take a little of that. I hope I don't have to patch every 5 minutes on like if I real expensive heavy suit.
And I want a stim module as well that auto stims. Like when I'm wounded and it detects it, I want it to do it auto. But I want to pay for it. I don't want it automatically included in all the suits. I want the high expensive suit to have that.
Or it should have a limit on it, right? Like it would be like the suit will auto stim me maybe once or twice, and it's a limit that I have to recharge the suit or do something of that. I totally support all that. I think that would be good. But I just think there's certain people that are calling out to slow down Star Marine, and I'm like, when you're out in the open in some of these moons and stuff, and you get shot at, you're not going to want to slow down anything because you're going to find cover as quick as you can. So they'll just have to balance it, is what it's going to be, because it has to still be fun. But if you get winded every 15 steps, you're going to have a problem. But if you can run forever, it's going to be super lame as well.
I don't know if that flight that suit penetration stuff only affects the flight suits.
No, I don't know. I'm saying
style things,
yeah. I'm hoping they direct it like that. That would be more interesting if a cheaper suit is easier to get bullet penetration on than something that obviously if you have Marine or Outlaw armor, you've bought gear to help defend against bullets. And if I get a leak every 5 seconds because somebody hit me with 5 rounds, I'm gonna be like, well, it better be severe enough where I'm dead, right? Or it's not a whole thing, well, they're merely flesh wounds, and I'm just like patching myself. Then I have to stim myself. I'm very happy they took out the fact that you can no longer heal yourself and run. I always thought that was lame because they had the whole, you could like use a Medi-Pen and sprint around at the same time. I was like, no, I just don't buy
I'm kind of like, why do I have to punch through my suit with a Medi-Pen?
Yeah. It's like, will you get a leak? Would that be funny? It's like, oh, I'm wounded. Oh, let me patch the wound. Okay, now I got to heal. Oh, shit, I got a leak. Let me patch that one, too. That'll be weird. But we'll see how it pans out. It'll still be interesting.
But it seems like right now our suits are made out of self-sealing stembols.
It does. And I would think that makes sense for the tech because we have self-sealing tires now and things of that nature. You would think there would be at least some level. Obviously, if you get hit with a rail gun or you get hit with a laser thing and it's like blowing holes through your entire body and suit, then yes, you shouldn't be able to patch that real easily. You're probably dead. But yeah, I don't know. It's just got to be balanced. It's got to be balanced and still feel good.
Did you go by the part already where he's pathing down the stairs? Where he showed the...
I didn't do that part of the video, but yeah, but that was what I was going to allude to on the pathing and part of the reason why... And actually... I don't know if it's in this or not. I don't think it is.
I just wanted to toss in there my question with that pathing and stuff. Yeah. So as he's coming down the stairs, I don't know if he follows that exact line or if it's basically in that red strip that maybe he can go. and that's awesome, because if there's somebody on the stairs just standing there AFK, he'll come up to that guy and then do the path walk around him, which is awesome. But what happens if you get 3 or 4 of your buddies and you block all the staircase? What's the NPC going to do then?
You're going to stand there and you're going to stand with a bunch of blocked NPCs, probably. I mean, I don't know how.
You know it's going to happen. I mean, you know people are going to do that.
You know, I noticed, though, in the most recent build of Star Marine that I can walk through my own teammates.
That's not good.
Watch for that. Because I don't think there's any collision dynamics between me and the other team. Because, like, you know, like when you surprise each other around a corner and you get in a gunfight, I notice, like, usually I can pivot around and we're in, like, a close range, like, fight, full auto, trying to kill each other. Well, I walked through him. So I had to turn around and shoot. I'm like, how am I? Is this a ghost fight? It's, like, very interesting. So I could have just been me. It could have been the server. But I was like, I've noticed several instances where people can actually, at least on the same team or even sometimes opposing teams, could walk through each other in the latest build. I don't know if it's a bug or what.
It's got to be.
You would think so.
Well, you can do fun things. I remember early...
Oh, you cut out.
Yep, lost your audio.
Lost your audio, but you're back now.
I'm back now. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember the early Star Trek online game where at the on the space station they have some small doors, and I could put up a shield there, and then no one could walk through constantly. I was like, "Fuck you guys!"
Yeah, just block it.
So they need some ways around it, but they also need to allow you to do that to make it more real.
Yeah. Well, see, and that would be good with the what do they call that? Where you piss off the NPC and he doesn't want to deal with you later. If you're always in his way blocking him and stuff, he puts you on his naughty list, you know?
Yeah, or if you did, say you're on like a carrier,
the reputation thing. You're
on a carrier or an Idris or something, and you start pulling that garbage in a stairwell, you're probably going to have an XO or somebody come down the hallway and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Get reprimanded because you're dicking around. So
I think that would be awesome for the AI.
I live for the day that we have AI that could literally pick you up and drag you into a brig for being a jackass. You know, imagine the NPCs come and go, "Come on," like drag you off. They'll never do that because they don't want to break people's game fun. But I think it'd be amazing.
Imagine getting arrested by NPC station security.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like you will be processed and you'll be put in. Probably have to answer a few questions. Then you get a fine and then you get released again. But you have to start from the prison.
Yeah,
I'd kind of be down for that.
That'd be cool. Well, they say in the bounty hunting mechanics, what's supposed to happen is, if you get captured by a bounty hunter, say you had a bounty on your head, he turns your body turns into an AI as an option, and then you just lose a life. Like that guy's gone. He's that's it, and then you can move on or something of that nature. So that way it doesn't ruin your gameplay. But if you want to explore that gameplay, it'll let you still. So I wonder if they're still going to do that or not, because that'd be really interesting. It's a good way to not ruin it for somebody.
Years and years ago, I played this game called Sierra's The Realm. And anybody, and I was a game moderator for them, and anybody that broke the rules, they actually had a jail and a jail cell. And they would take the people and put them in the jail cell, and they had to stay in there for, you know, depending on what your violation was, anywhere from half an hour to like 4 to 6 hours or whatever. Yeah. And
I remember
games never do that anymore.
I can't remember what game it was. It might have been the original Conan MMO or something. You could actually go to jail, and you had the option of sitting there for so long. And it was like super sped up. It was like you wouldn't have to sit there for days or anything. But there's sometimes you can sit there for hours. And maybe it was Arcade. I don't remember now. It was one of the MMOs I played. But you also had the option of breaking out of jail. And if you broke out of jail and you got caught, you got like double your time. But if you got out of jail and made it for so long, there was a cooldown window and escaped for so long, then you were free. But you had to like break out of actual jail, yeah. So I was like, that was kind of interesting little mechanic. And you could only break out at like certain options and certain methods and stuff, and it was really interesting, you know. So it made a big pain in the ass for people who got arrested, but didn't really prevent trolling though.
I think the only game I've played where you go to jail is fucking Monopoly.
Well, you know, we'll see what happens in the future here. We'll get Bristol in one of these jail games. We'll see how long it takes him to get arrested.
By the way, in Denmark, it is not illegal.
To what? You cut out again. You said it's not illegal, and then you bleeped out.
It's not illegal to break out of jail in Denmark.
What?
Yes. You cannot get extra punishment for breaking out and escaping.
Wow.
That's interesting. How often do
Did they
people break out of
reward you
jail?
for finding a flaw?
Not that often, but there are a few times where people escape,
Yeah.
mostly at the courts.
Yep.
Did they reward you for finding a flaw and finding an escape route? What, like,
Here's $500 for finding this.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so what we're watching in this last scene here is basically progressing actor status, incorporates breathing, stamina, all that stuff. They're talking about mass production on usables, which is pretty exciting. They're talking about how they added suits getting punctured and patched and recharging oxygen tanks. So all that stuff is things that they're currently adding into the dev builds right now. So all those things that we've seen in the last ATV are actually being implemented. And finalize the design of Spectrum game integration to enable access to the Spectrum forums and functionality in-game. So that way you'll be able to actually access Spectrum from in the game, not just outside the game through the website or anything. So you'll get that access, that same mirrored access on both ends. So that'll be really cool. What ship interior
When
is
is
that?
our voice chat coming?
I don't know. I mean, I think they want to get their legs into both systems first. So once they have it in the launcher, in the actual game, and then on the website, I think we'll start to see them start to turn on the voice stuff. I believe that is either...
I think that's Idris.
I think that's the Idris, because they have cots like that. What you can't see on that actual image there, if I can rewind it properly. And a reloop. What you can't see on that actual image there when he's laying on that cot is if you go to where his head is on the pillow and you look backwards, he's got a TV screen there. And he can actually look up data and stuff while he's laying in his rack on the ship. So there's a lot of cool features on the Idris that they showed in the previous ATV that are they just amaze me. And I just hope they're all like interactive and stuff, because that would be so cool if that's actually a panel you can use and do stuff with. See,
Well,
right
I
here.
think they want to make all the panels interactable.
You would think so, yeah. But yeah, right here where he's laying down at, it's actually, there's a screen, and it's up here on his rack. You can't see it from there, but it's laying right in there. And I'm sure it's got, some awesome TV shows like, I don't know, Space Kitten.
Space Kid.
Stuff.
Yeah, for a moment I was thinking you were drawing something else.
People always get that impression. I don't know why.
Well, I'm a testy, okay?
Yeah, there you go. It happens, right?
we never draw things like that. No.
Never. But no, I think that was the main segment of that, and then we can talk about it briefly. Of course, they went over the Q&A stuff and like how you talked about how they were showing real leadership and things of that nature. That was really interesting. Earlier in the week, they did have a what was it? What do you call it? Town hall. They had a town hall to go over the Banu and some of those elements and whatnot. I didn't get to check it all out, unfortunately. There were some highlights on it I read about, but there wasn't a ton of stuff other than just a background. Like they talked about clarified, the main points I want to hit on is things they clarified specifically about the Banu Defender for those people interested. Because I know a lot of people are on the fence on whether this is a ship they want, don't want, or may be interested down the road. The Banu Defender has one shield, size 2. Has 2 power plants, not just one, to keep that size 2 shield perpetually generated. It has 4 size 2 weapons on size 3 gimbals, which can be swapped to size 3 guns. That's pretty substantial firepower. Size 3 fixed weapons with size 2 shield is pretty I'm starting to picture like a bossed out saber of the past with the old bug with the constellation shield on it. When I hear these type of stats. Because with 2 power plants, you're no longer worried about boosting your shields or your guns. You can perpetually run those weapons more than likely, depending on the energy draw of those. Ballistic weapons against the Defender will be more effective, but the Tavarian shield it has on it, which they specified is a Tavarian shield, which makes badass shields. Which the Defender will mitigate some of that. So they're going to go with the shield mitigation. It's not going to be like the old school where you could come in with a Gladius and punch through shields automatically and kill stuff. They also said they're going to address some of the visibility ideas to address concerns about the cockpit, where we're all like, oh my god, I can't see anything because I'm flying around like this, fucking arms in my face. It looks cool in profile, but it doesn't look very cool from the driver's seat.
Well, if the radar's good enough, you could basically be flying with a fucking blindfold on, like, do you know what I mean?
Well, and they have, what ship is that? Isn't that the Prowler that has no front canopy? You can fly purely off radar and imaging off of it. They finally got the tech done right. That's originally what the Cartual was supposed to be, the scout ship. And then they couldn't figure out the tech at that time in development, so they made it that really nice spherical ball. That way you could kind of just see out the thing, but they fixed it by the time they came out with the Prowler. And they did say that you can swap out components on the Defender or any alien ship without too much hassle, since they've already configured it over to human capacity. So you'll still be able to. That's one thing I was curious about too on these like rare ships. Like if you own a merchantman, am I gonna have to go find Banu to buy parts to replace on my ship, or what's gonna happen? But
and they were also talking about that you would be able to get mounts, so you can mount alien weapons on your ships.
Yep. Adapters and different things.
Specialty mounts for that.
Yep.
But you might have to, man. You might have to go find the Banu traders to get your.
Maybe some elements of it you will. I mean, it depends on the system, probably. Like, I would think if it was an engine, it would be native to that alien race, right? I don't think the engines are, like, going to be human-made. But maybe, like, if you had a shield generator or a component or something that was, like, the human interface for things, like radar systems and stuff, I imagine those would be adapted more to a human aspect. Because unless it's something like the broken Vandul stolen ships we see, where it's fighting the metrics in order to do it, these ships were more adapted to humans, where they weren't like stolen and then adapted, I guess. It's the best way to put it.
I don't know. But the clothing lines are separated by, there's the...
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So I don't see why they wouldn't do that with the
just
oddball ships.
Well, the problem you might run into is there might not be a lot of access to Banu in the beginning of the game to replace any parts. Maybe you aren't in those areas for trade zones. So we'll just have to see.
Well, that's good. That keeps everybody from running around in a extra Super Hornet, because that's what the Banu Defender is.
And then you cleaned up. You went robot for a minute, but then you cleaned right up.
Sorry.
It's okay. Is
that better?
Yep, you're good.
But yeah, I mean, it's the Defender to me is just it's on equal grounds as a Super Hornet. So, and it would keep them from flooding the skies with a bunch of Banu Defenders.
Yeah. Yep. And I think access might be a thing, because they've always talked about once you get to in-game, even though you could buy these ships, it'll be more rare to buy alien vessels. While they afford them to us now, if you want to buy them in concept, you're not going to be able to just go to any shore, any stop on any planet or any space station and buy alien ships. They're going to be specially acquired. So that's a thing too. So that makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense.
The other thing I loved about that show was they came up and basically said the banner merchant is going to be polarized, and it's going to be probably considered a a Banu capital ship. And I'm like, okay, then I'm happy I invested in the hope that it's going to be big.
There you go.
So,
I actually like the lore of the Banu. I like the fact that they kind of sell the kids off to the government or to the system to benefit the system, not to benefit family. Right? You know what I mean?
They almost have like a pseudo hive mentality, but not really, right? They're just about the collective group, but they're not like Borg, right? They're not like Unified Mind or Insect or anything, but they definitely are probably the most socialistic based race you could possibly find, where they're really focused on the whole instead of the individual.
Yeah.
So, like, they train their people from birth to be a role. That's your job, and that's what you're going to do. And then they operate even their equipment. They mentioned the original structure around the Defender was operated by 2 to 3 pilots at once. I mean, they worked in unification in order to operate the ship. So it's very interesting, that culture in the set there. And I'm very glad they didn't go the traditional insect race or robot cyber networked race where it's like we are one and this is all about, but they definitely still made it a very aesthetic collective of people that have a different type of look on life and how you sustain your people as a race. And it was interesting. I think that's
it actually got me thinking about some role playing to immerse yourself in the game more. I was like, when I looked at it and they said like, well, they're gonna dress to show certain things because it doesn't necessarily look friendly and stuff, and they're gonna be gaudy to show that they're friendly. And it got me started thinking, well, what if you make a character that is trying to become better friends with them? So you try and sit down in the game and actually learn the visuals of the Banu, like learning that language.
Yeah,
and all those things, and start exploring that, and you get yourself a Banu merchantman so you can be more closer to them, and starting to live in that society and trade with them all the time. And that's just one tiny level of gameplay right there, and it's gonna be deep.
Yep. And they did mention that the Banu language hasn't been worked on much. It's still in the plans too. But it's not a predominant race where they need the language, I assume, for Squadron 42. So it's one of those things where they're fleshing out some of the other languages first. Then they're more worried about coming back on that. So
but they brought that like professional linguist on to do all these languages.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, all these languages will be fleshed out.
I would think so.
And people will learn them, inside and out.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Also, they were talking about how they were asking questions about how the Vanduul trade goods with the Banu. So I thought that was really interesting. It's like the Vanduul trade with the Banu come over and trade with us, but we would never be in the same spot, right, to do the thing. So it's interesting dynamics there. But I just can't wait to hear more about it and actually get in the ships. And I do hope the rework of however they design it to make the cockpit not so occluded in that. I don't know. I would seal off the cockpit and do what Duck said, where I'd have cameras on the arms or something, like where you don't even need a screen. You don't need the window. Why not just have projection or something up there where you could just drive around without the window? If it's that occluded, you could put cameras on the guns and do something. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
the Star Trek ship. The Star Trek ship isn't an actual window. It's a view screen.
On screen. On screen number 2.
Just like Dome said, I'm Groot. That was the first thought I saw when they what was it, 2 weeks ago when they showed off the Banu really again. I was like, that's Groot.
Weren't you saying the guy who made the design is like the same guy though, or something like that? He's like similar person or something like that. I was like, is it the same person? I don't know. Seems like it.
Yeah, but it is. Almost crazy. Too much like Groot. Kind of against that.
Yeah, it is. It is very similar in those respects. All right, guys, we've reached the portion of the show where we're getting ready to do some questions. I'm going to pull up and see. Hopefully, we got some questions in there. But
I got one thing before.
Oh, go ahead. Do it.
Okay, so in the mail we just got from Chris Roberts, which is freaking awesome. So if you haven't read it, guys, go read it. But if you scroll down to the 3.0 schedule update and you look, 3.0 Evocati, and it says on this November, not November, I can't read.
I was like, everybody's heart just sunk. You said in November. It's
It says the 6th of May. That's when Evocati is supposedly getting 3.0.
I thought it was the 6th of June on that original 3.0 thing.
Yeah, but that's probably me reading wrong. The American dates. Sorry, guys.
I was like, you heard it here first. Duck's gone crazy. It's happening.
Never mind.
1 week.
Nothing to see here. I was like 1 week, and they're gonna get it.
No, we got a few weeks, but it's still just a little over.
No, it is May. It is freaking May.
Does it say May on there?
Yes,
you're gonna make me look live on the air. I've got to go look. Let's see
if you look between the 8th of May, 17 and 22, they have to drop down of the Evocati PTU. So yes, it is freaking May.
This is on the letter, really?
Yes, in the letter, just below the Banu concept sale picture, they're showing that thing.
What should be a typo?
Picture didn't happen.
This Monday, May 1st, last day of the Federer Sale Contest, blah, 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 blah. Schedule updates. Check them out here.
Sick for the sick can't be turned around. Yeah.
It does say that, so
Let's see.
Maybe they pushed it forward.
Evocati PTU aim dates. Still, I don't know.
you're not seeing it?
What? You're looking at the actual graph, right?
Yeah, okay. Here.
You're looking at that, yeah.
Let's see if it goes into focus.
Evocati
I'm looking at
PTU. Yeah, it's well. That says 6. Are they using U.S. designation or are they using? That's
Well,
U.S. That's not
look at
May.
the dates at the top. It says 8th of May 17, and then the line down to it from 3.0 Evocati PTU.
But they're using U.S. type, right? That's not 5.6. That's not 6.5 like Euro. That's 5. That's 6.5, meaning U.S.
Well, yeah, that's how I would read it. But when you look at the line, it says 8th of May and 22nd of May. So it's still points at May. So it's pointing at our dates.
The line says May.
The line must be drawn here.
That's right. They do have a line down there in between May 8th and May 22nd.
Exactly. So I'm betting 1 week, and then if that's how I read it.
I don't think so. I mean, that would be awesome, but I don't think.
Stream, you be the judge. This is the elliptical line that we're looking at. This line right here. Let's see.
Oh shit.
Blow it up. Right here.
The line doesn't lie.
Yeah. And if you look at the date and read
But
it like
here's the
European,
question I have then. If they're not done making the stuff till it says June, how can they test it in Evocati
because you
here?
can test all the other things.
I guess. I like how AI here is like not done until later month. Here's the big one, network. 6:30. But hey, they're doing what I asked. They're updating.
That's saying the 6th of May, right? Is that when we're projecting Evocati?
No, it doesn't say the 6th of May. It's in U.S. because it's something put out over here. You got to remember, you guys do your dates as far as day, month, year. In the U.S., we do month, day, year.
Yeah, but that line is in between. It's
May
not the other side
8th?
of May, so it can't be June. It has to be May.
It says
Yeah,
it's
it's in
May.
between the 8th of May and 22nd of May.
It is
so.
between the 8th and the 22nd of May. So it is not at the 6th, but it is definitely saying during the middle of May, according to that line.
Oh. When was that
But
updated?
That's
This
the
came out
one from
today.
right now.
Oh, shit.
But the interesting
We're
part is
live
now,
and
if you-
current here on the SpaceBro show.
Yeah.
We don't tell you news that happened last fucking Friday. Shit came out now. We're live. Here it is, cutting away.
But if you look at the rest of the dates, they are definitely in the US format.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, what the hell are they doing? But they're definitely using the lines.
This is
because
what happens when you have a
the picture.
global studio
Yeah,
and dates.
The line
Because-
is an illusion.
because if you scroll down to the bottom of the graph, you see the
Yeah,
state as well.
You see what-
and it also uses that line. So the line is definitely meant to say this is when we're going to drop.
people in chat are like debating now. You get the line equals lie, and Captain Scarlet says the line's nothing. It just could not fit the text across the top, Mitauchi. So they buffed it over, and that could be true. You know, they just put the line there. You know, because you give dates, and then a graphic artist comes in. It's like we need a
They
graphic
could
for
have,
this.
you know.
I go with the dates based on US. I'm going to say that's still not till June. I would love it to be May. The line is definitely in middle May, but the hard numbers, and I'm a numbers guy, say June. So
Well, you have to look at it. If they want to release it to everyone on the 29th of June, right? You're gonna, and with it being 3.0,
which I don't
it
believe
needs
they
a lot-
will, but yes,
Yeah, but it needs a ton of testing.
Oh yeah.
Which means they will have to drop it to the PTU for everyone there
Mm-hmm.
early June, which means they will have to do Evocati in May if they have to reach that deadline of the 29th.
Yeah. I don't think
But May, as I said in chat, May 6th is a Saturday, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe the actual number dates on the text is their goal, and I don't even know if they'll hit those. The line, I think, is inaccurate. I believe it's entirely what they said in chat. I think it's like they couldn't fit the fucking title all the way next to the other one that close. Because if you look at it, their dates of going from PTU Evocati to PTU Everyone they're saying that'll only take like a week or two. And I just don't believe that either. I think the Evocati are going to need a month of testing, like you said. I don't think we see this in our hands till July. I think the Evocati will get it in June, maybe even early June. But I don't think we're going to get this in May. I would love to, but I just don't believe that.
Well, see, in Chris's letter, it said months with a plural. Like, months plural is 3 months.
Right now, Chris
But
Roberts,
according to the schedule, is 2.
here's what Chris Roberts is doing right now. He's like reviewing this. He's like, who made this graphic? Which one of you guys made this goddamn graphic? Because now I've got to listen to this shit all over the internet forever.
Let's go to Reddit.
Yeah. To Reddit. Don't believe the lie.
I'm calling DS right now.
Dude, we need to crop that and blow it up detailed where the line is, and then draw the line straight through all the thing. Then make it a grid. Put like a grid over it and say, well, these are where the dates actually would be on this bar graph. And then this is where the line's at. So it needs to be out by 12:01 p.m. on May 15th, 2017, according to the line. They'd love it. It'd just be great.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy sauce. It's crazy sauce. Yeah. I don't think so. But I'm glad they're updating. They just need to get their graphics and their words together correctly. It's like, because we're picture people. You've made us that way with your fidelity. It's amazing. All the beautiful fidelity. Get your Reddit pitchforks and torches. Get ready. That's the way it goes. All right, so let's go back over here to some more awesomeness before we get to the Q&A. And guys, if you have more questions to add, we only have about a handful of questions, but if you have more you'd like to add, all you do is put ! questions in chat. There you go. But we're going to do this giveaway. This giveaway is going to be for a $25 Star Citizen gift card. And you have to make sure that you follow everybody in the show. And we're going to include Toy on this one because he's special. He's trying to get his referrals up too. So make sure you include Toy, even though he's not in the guest list. So you have to go over to Grubbin Home Special. No, I'm just kidding. It's just at Toy Grubbin on Twitch as well and do that. So you have to link your stuff in there, Toy.
Oh, for crap's sake.
I know. See, that's the way I make them work. That's the way I make them work. So otherwise, Exploration Boy Guest will get you links over to Mr. DuckForceOne and BristolBoy88. Make sure you're following both their channels. You have to be following everybody here in order to actually qualify for this beautiful $25 gift card. So make that happen, Captain, and we will get you taken care of on all that jazz.
Yeah.
So
And now my email blew up.
yeah. So hit them follow buttons, boys, and then get in there, ! SpaceBros in chat to get into the keyword raffle.
Well, I'm just going to do my skit that I'm doing in my channel. Welcome to the Clone Room. Let's go bug hunting together. Thank you so much for that follow, guys. And your bunk is over there.
There you go. Excellent. All right. So we have a total of 7 questions so far. First question is, in the letter we got from Chris Roberts today, here we go. He said, developing technology that will deliver crisis quality planets. Do you think guys will ever regret saying crisis quality planets? That's a pretty tall order to back up.
Here's the thing. Crisis quality, and you've got fucking 90% of the cunts that work for Crytek and Crisis. You're getting Crytek and Crisis fucking quality stuff.
I think you're getting better than Crisis. I know Crisis was impressive, but let's be honest, that's like a decade ago, guys. It's like, can we let go of Crisis yet? It's like,
but the problem is, like we talked beforehand, there's gonna be some parts that is not gonna live up to that expectation because it's not gonna be super crisp. It's not gonna be like, I'm blown away by this, and someone, you promised, and we didn't.
Well, yeah, especially with LODs too. When you're far away from stuff, it's not going to look nearly what Crisis did because Crisis rendered like 100% at most levels that I remember. It was like because it was a much smaller map.
One of the only types of like environments I want to see. I'm sure you'll remember Graded Gamers Island, Star Citizen Island.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the jungle that you pulled in from Crytek and put all the spaceships in. I would love to see something like that, a real dense foliage of like rainforest and stuff.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
I think they can do it too. I mean, with their, now that they have the LOD tech where they can like, you know, increase and decrease detail based on your distance to objects on the fly the way they do. I mean, if you could take off in a fucking spaceship to go from like mere quality like detail on the ground to boom, you're in space and be able to retract that without making the graphics skip and all that, I don't think that should be a problem to have a rainforest. I really don't. I mean, it shouldn't be. If it is,
especially with like the way that they do it, because it's all okay, well, you've got this much foliage in front of you. Can I see past it? No. Okay, well, I don't need to fucking render past it.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Once I go through this foliage, then I may be next to see the next 2 or 3 leaves behind it.
Yep.
I don't need to see a mile's worth of foliage.
Well, and plus, my whole point in that is like, because when you take off from a planet, think how fast the LODs are adjusting, right? Because, I mean, you're moving at incredible speed. So it's got to render in and render out really fast. If you're on the ground walking through a jungle, it should flow through pretty easily, considering before you had to do it on a spaceship quickness. Now it's like, hey, I'm just walking or I'm riding a bike through. You're not moving like hundreds and hundreds of meters per second. So you should definitely be able to do that type of tech, I would think. Now, we'll all have to make sure we have 128 gigabyte machines in order to hold all this graphic information, even though they're streaming it in and out. But I think we're going to need a lot more RAM.
We're actually in luck there, because I saw about the new graphics card coming out, and basically the way the technology is moving is the newer graphics cards are going to be able to use your RAM and hard drives for extra memory for those details, because as things get speedier, then the things it doesn't need to pull in immediately, it can move over to other things. So you don't necessarily need a bigger card than 6 gigabytes or 12 like you get currently, because it can refer the rest of it from the computer itself. And that's going to bump up our fidelity and all these things by a lot.
Yep. You just need bigger hard drives. Go. Because the games get bigger, they got to render in out of those. But they've had that working on that tech for a while, that high hard drive memory, especially with the flash drives implemented and stuff. It should work almost seamlessly, the same as your onboard memory at these points, because the bus speeds are getting so high that it's like, you know, if you could stream it in via M.2s and everything else. I'm waiting to see. People are so excited about M.2s as far as like fast storage. Fuck that. I want that to be my RAM. I want to put a terabyte M.2 in there and that be RAM. Why not? Why do I have to have these sticks that cost me $300? Why don't I spend $300 and get a terabyte of RAM? That's what I want. Then it just flow up and it's perfect. Okay. Let's see. Do you think when the full release, and this is from RoboFan16, do you think when the full release of SC comes around, we'll see a boost in public interest in real-life space travel, SpaceX Mars missions, and lunar H3 mining? So basically, do you think the influence of the game, do you think it's going to get so much hype when actually it comes to full release with this game? It's going to have so much hype, it's going to renew or even expand interest in space travel?
Well, as a space aficionado, I'd say perhaps, because we are undergoing a revolution right now with the way SpaceX is going around it, and it's really going up. And then we have now this giant coming up in the games world, which is going to make space exploration great again as well. So yes, I think it has a definite possibility of, because we've been basically standing still, exploring the nearness of space around us for many, many years, when we should have been further apart along. We should have been on Mars by now, on the moon by now, and we're only just getting started looking at it. But people like, what's his name? Elon Musk, they're the future. They're helping us create the future, and Chris Roberts is helping us create a new future for gaming. So yes, I believe it's going to have a big effect.
Yep. What about you, Bristol? What do you think? You think Star Citizen will push people to want to do more space travel in general, or what do you think?
I don't know. Well, it's a dream world, right? So I like Elon Musk's talk about how he believes that the chances of us living in this simulational world is 1 in a billion.
Yeah.
And I like that his thought process on that. And I know it winds a lot of people up, but I like to say to people that the Earth is flat, and we've never left the Earth. We've never been to the moon. We've never been to space.
Oh God, a flat Earth.
You know what I mean? And no, I don't say it because I believe in it. I say it because it's funny, and the reaction that I just got out of you two then just makes it even more better. Just for bringing it up, and people go, "Oh, you're fucking mental for believing that." It's just like,
Yeah.
It's just funny that I just brought it up, and you know,
But
oh my God, fucking
people do believe in it, which is just crazy.
Yeah. But it's funny to bring it up.
I honestly believe more people believe that for attention than actually really believe that.
Yeah.
Because
I like bringing it up just to get a reaction.
We're in this age though of social media where people believe crazy shit, not really, but they believe it so they get attention. And there's some people out there that like try to justify the weirdest shit, and you can see in their eyes they have no belief in it at all. They're just like saying it to say it so they get like a rise out of people. Yeah. And I just look at those people and shake my head. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. On a fun note for that, last week, I believe space station green screen on YouTube, because I was looking for some videos with some green screen stuff in, and all the things that came up was like people saying the space station green screen studio, and there was like 2,000 videos of that. People saying that all of that stuff was fake. I'm like, oh man. They were like pointing at, oh well, this corner here you can see
it's so troll about everything with that stuff. It's like it's all fake, nothing's there, it's all in your mind. It's great.
But it was freaking.
You know what? But I say if people want to do that, that's fine. It's better than a lot of other shit posting I've seen about politics and everything else all over the web. If you want to talk about the Earth's flat till you're blue in the face, I'm okay with this. Because who are they hurting? Are they hurting anybody?
Let me answer your question with a bit of seriousness.
Yeah.
Now, with the current rate of how much like exploration or shit they're sending up or whatever they're doing, a lot of people are gaining interest in it. You know, it's becoming quite apparent that it seems a cool thing to do, and people are going to the moon and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Now, you look on the other end, people are never going to be able to afford that, and it's just literally a mere aspiration or a dream of being able to go to space. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Instead of spending $500,000 to go into space, you can spend $45 and go to space and fly fucking Star Citizen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can live your dream.
The first generation that actually goes to live in space that's not like corporate or not actual astronauts will be just like the pioneers that traveled, you know, across the ocean to America or anywhere else. They'll give their lives to try to go colonize something. That's what it will be, because most people couldn't afford that trip across the ocean. They said, hey, we'll come, we'll be part of the crew, we'll be part of this, we'll be part of the colonies to go there, and they had a job and role to fill. That's what you'll get in, and then you'll have people that'll send money back and stuff to bring the rest of their family, just like we do right now, even for third world countries and whatnot. I mean, that's just the way it'll work. It'll be a migration to space in that element, and it'll be really interesting. Unfortunately, I do not believe that phase will happen in our lifetime. I think you'll have the corporate infrastructure, you'll have many of the other things happen. I think you'll start to see the first corporations hit space, because the mineable asteroids and everything else that's in space that's available for resources is incredible. All they have to figure out first is the best way to get it back down to Earth, because that's the problem they have. And the only solution I see is to build manufacturing and other elements on moons, on planets, and out there in space, manufacture the products out there and the ships and stuff to do it. Because everything else just doesn't seem practical to me as far as that. You build it where you mine it at, and then you could produce your elements and your materials and stuff. But we'll see what happens.
Space elevators.
They talk about space elevators. I still haven't seen the efficiency factor of it. The physics are there. The capability of doing it and the ingenuity of humans, I believe, can be possible. But does that make more sense? Or does it make more sense if you can mine or refine the fuels and get the things already in space to perpetuate it? Would it be better to colonize? I honestly think even with the human cost, it would be cheaper to colonize than build a fucking space elevator. But that's me. That's my belief. And I already think, and I might be a conspiracy theory, I think there's already fucking bases on the moon. I think somebody's already built something there. Why not? How would we know? All we get is International Space Station video. Nobody's up on the moon going like, hey,
how would we know?
where's this
Telescopes.
I don't
Telescopes,
know.
man.
I don't know. They
Like,
got shovels.
if you built something on the moon, it would have emissions at some point, and you would see
Just
stuff.
dig down
It
deep,
would be
baby.
spotted.
Just go underneath. They got fucking cameras. They're building shit
Yeah,
on the moon.
do that on the moon without leaving a.
Yep. You can do it.
No government can keep a secret.
Oh, yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah. We ventured off the flat Earth. We're going to the moon men. It's a moon men theory from Mitauchi. There's people.
Well,
in
at
there.
least you're not denying people got to the moon. That's.
There you go.
That's
I was going to
something.
say, you could argue that people haven't got past the Van Allen belt yet.
No, I think more and more though, if they start to build more spaceships to actually do corporate infrastructure and travel, they're gonna have a problem with our beautiful belt of junk we have floating around the planet out there with all the satellites and everything. Because I mean, they've already talked about and wrote articles on that. There's so much space trash. It's like we have our own private asteroid belt of fucking debris floating around out there from all the different missions and satellites and bullshit.
See, Elon Musk needs to make Star Citizen real and make a real life reclaimer and a real life actual, you know what I mean, ships for so we can
Ship
put a
junkers
reclaimer
up
space
there,
and
you can
fucking-
like refine
yeah.
it all. There you go.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
No, I
They've got all
can
the
I can
concepts
honestly
and
see
sites
though,
down
and to be serious though, I could see us building, or not just us, the international community or different countries building a facilities on the moon, refining things like asteroids and other things, and then bringing the stuff back there rather than trying to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere every time. I think it makes sense. I mean, what else do we fucking use the moon for? Might as well put a refinery on it. We do everything
The
else
moon
in the Earth.
is excellent for a jumping point.
Yep.
It's perfect. You've got low gravity, so it's easy to take off.
Yep.
You got some minerals and ice and water and whatever you need.
And you're not destroying
on
the
there as well.
environment down here.
Yeah.
Fucking put that shit on the moon.
You know, a couple years back, I went to the Houston Space Center and did a tour. And out at their pool where they have the full ISS in the water there to train on, they had this little back area, and they had like 5 different habitats that they were testing for the moon. They had them set up there. And one of them just looked like a canvas tent like the military uses. I mean, I was like, really? They're testing that to put on the moon? I'm like, oh.
It's cheap.
It is, and, you know, I'm sure maybe it works good, but I don't know. It's just, I was kind of,
Well, look at
okay.
it this way, a lot of the spaceships are actually only aluminum.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep, you just got to fly them at the right angle. Don't do 3 degrees this way, you turn into like a melted fucking piece of Tupperware in a microwave. So don't screw that up. All right, next question. Will the Reliant be able to fly both horizontal and vertical? Well, technically, it kind of does fly horizontal.
Got
and
to
vertical,
take off, right?
but
Yeah.
it doesn't fly at cruise speeds. I don't think horizontal. I think it can only do landing. Can it?
Yeah, I believe it was in Speaks that they wanted to do that.
Yeah.
They wanted to have the transition
We haven't
available
heard of
for
it in a
both
while, though.
the pilot and co-pilot to be able to get out while it was tilted, because at the moment you can't due to the restriction in the seating and stuff and the position of character. But they do want it to be able to fly in both modes, landed and up and down. But at the moment it's a no, but they do want to do it.
Yep.
I must say the twisting thing is what made it a definite no-no for me to have. I upgraded to it when it came out. And I was like, hey, it looks pretty cool. I like the wideness of it, and I like the room, and I like the cargo space. But the moment I lifted off and it did that, I'm like, nope. Upgrade to someone else.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think it's a practical ship. I think it's a cool looking ship. I think it's reminiscent of Star Wars, like, you know, B-wings and all that stuff. But I just don't. I don't see the usage of it. I really don't. There's so many other ships that does what it does without being so impractical for me.
No ejection pod, no nothing. You know?
Well,
You're in for the ride. That's
even
it.
if you can get out, if you're in fucking like vertical mode, you ain't getting out because you can't access the door to get out.
Yep.
It's like, so I don't know. I think that, you know, it's aesthetically cool, but not for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. The next question from Agent 1213, same person asked the previous one. Is the Merlin detaching from the Connie listed in the future schedule? I don't think it's in the schedule. It's in the plan. But I
Well, the schedule isn't that specific.
Where did they no, they mentioned it, and basically they reverted back to saying something about someone asked a question about the 85X, I believe, with the Orion, with the 8-night jump, and they mentioned the same thing, saying they're working on the docking, which is the same thing for the Caterpillar with the module coming off, and it's the same premise of terms of like they're trying to get it to actually
they're going to use the same
line
mechanics.
or allow you to give you some assistance to line up, because the chances of you going, okay, mate, I'm traveling at 900 meters a second.
Well,
okay, let me try and match that and match your movements. It's gonna be pretty fucking hard.
Has anybody here played Helion? Because like
that's fucking so hard.
That's exactly what. Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, I get this is hyper realistic with docking, but hopefully they find a better way to do it in the star system. Because that was such a pain in the ass, just getting an airlock on something.
They just have to have some kind of close proximity tractor beam. So you just get within so close to ship and boom,
just use the landing zone mechanism. It doesn't have to be horizontally flat. I mean, just have it where you get in a certain area, it's docking. And it's like, boom, and then it just merges you together and you're docked. I think that would be the simplest way to do it. We're in the future. We got fucking computers. Have the computer fucking figure it out.
But see, I don't want it to always dock, because there might be times I want a little ship hiding underneath my ship. You know what I mean? Really close, but not actually in a docking mode.
When
so
you buy the Millennium Falcon, you
can
do that shit. It'll magnetize to it, or Boba Fett's special fighter.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, but I agree. I think it'd be cool to have both things. Sometimes you want to dock to the airlock, but like you can manually land with the landing mode stuff too. You have the option of both. I think docking should be the same way. I can merge the ship, and if I have like some sort of like mag stabs weird thing or some sort of magnet hole, I could magnetize to the other ship somehow. That'd be cool too.
Well, there's actually something they said recently. The reason why they went away from all these ships docking thing, so like the docking collars we have are going to be removed from the ships that still have them, is because it was too difficult for them to have, like as BristolBoy said, going 900 meters per second and try and dock. It would tear apart too easily. So they've decided to fully go away from it, which is why they're removing the docking collars for the Cutlass and other ships that has it. So it is going to have to be something automatic when they do that thing, because they have removed everything else.
But still use something you could tab out of, much like that other thing. Like if I'm going through a docking procedure and I see hostile ships all jump in and they start blowing up the ship I'm docking to, I still want to be able to just click off of it and go and not say, nope, I'm not doing that.
So the bigger ships are supposed to dock to Port Olisar, so they're going to have to do some kind of similar docking procedure for the big ships.
Yeah, I just think they're avoiding the ship-to-ship, smaller ship, like medium-sized stuff, merging and docking. We'll see how they plan to do it. Yeah, because you aren't going to land in Idris on Port Olisar. You're probably going to have to moor it to the side and do all that. But I would think, again, it'd be an automated docking procedure of some sort they would do. So we'll see there. All right. The lure for the Banu merchantman ship was supposed to be something handed down from generation to generation and family. After this past ATV, they say the Banus send their kids off to never be seen again for the greater good. How do you hand your ship down to your heirs if you don't know who they are?
Well,
but your heirs are who they give you.
Yes.
Yeah, your next of kin doesn't necessarily mean it's your son.
Yeah, it's not your family, it's more your apprentice, I would assume. So people coming to you to be trained in that avenue for their whole lives and swapping kids and all that stuff, you're handing down to the next generation, but the generation is inherently like blood relative. It's because they look at it more like a collective. You're handing it down. It's like if I gave mine to whoever the younger apprentice of my clan is, or my group, or my job occupation, those type of things, is the way I took that to make sense out of it. So,
well, you can also look at how the medieval went. You have like the oldest person inherits, and everyone else gets shipped off to God knows where because, hey, they're not your eldest. You don't care about them, basically.
Yeah, you have your eldest, and they're the heir apparent. Sometimes you keep the second generation kids around in case something happens to the first, but usually if you have third child or fourth, Yeah, they're
Bye
gone.
bye.
Yeah, they're pretty much gone, or sold out in serfdom to do something else, depending on what class you were in.
Yeah.
Thrace asks after that one says, what were the bare minimum social / group mechanics you were hoping to get with 3.0? Ooh, that's a good question. What do you think, Duck? What was your the
Well,
bare minimum what you were
3.0
hoping for by 3.0? What mechanics were you hoping for them to put in so you could
Bare minimum.
do that? Bare minimum.
What I need in game is reliable group chat, for sure, and one that doesn't switches between group chat and general chat, and I have to click back and forth all the time. That's one thing. I kind of want integration with my orcs directly, so I can group up with them when we're in. And also, of course, some markers. I need beacons, so I can see like where are they in space. I can jump to them, or they can send me bookmarks of where they are. All of these things need to be really easily integrated, because if I'm flying off in space and someone crashes, they're never gonna find me again, because I will have to tell them where the fuck I am, and then we'll have to do all sorts of weird shit. Or if I'm outside my ship and I'm lost and they need to find me, there's no way to turn on a beacon. So all these things need, for me, when the space is expanding, it needs to be in.
Yep, makes sense. Bristol, same question. What bare minimum social / group mechanics are you hoping we get with 3.0?
So straight off the bat, I hope they can fix the turret situation. So your manned guys in the turrets can actually use them efficiently. I hope they work out the engineers kind of thing, so they can do the weapons grouping. So it isn't just down to the pilot to sort that shit out. So you could essentially say, fuck the energy weapons off, put all power and only want to shoot ballistics. Do you know what I mean? So only give me those weapons.
Yeah.
So then your guy turns zones off and like.
So you're looking for more crew mechanics in there, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Yeah. I'd like to see the healing mechanic, maybe if that comes in, or the pulling mechanic, so you're down and I can drag you into cover. There's a few things that I'd like to see in, but I'm not really like.
What about chats and different things like that, or communication in groups, or any of those types
VoIP?
of things?
VoIP would be good.
Yeah.
And I've said this, and this is a cool thing you could do. So VoIP, if any of you have played Arma, it's got very good VoIP in that way. You kind of break up on your radio.
Yeah.
Now if you think that some fucker's gonna turn the comm array off in between me and you try to call me,
Oh, that'd be cool.
it's really break up and start. So I'm going, what the fuck? Yo, Toy Grubin, can you go and put the comm array on? Yeah, cool. Goes and turns it on. Hey, yo, mate, I can hear you loud and clear now. Do you know what I mean? Because the signal's coming through.
I still think it'd be funny if we had radio signals noises that we were using in space at that point. But yeah,
What?
but I get
come through your helmet or something.
Yeah,
kind of
but definitely
transmission,
breaking up comm arrays, influencing communications would be definitely interesting. It would be an interesting strategy tactic.
I actually like how Elite Dangerous does it.
How do they do it?
When
I don't remember.
It kind of puts a little filter over your voice, and then it has like, doot, this is DuckForceOne speaking.
Oh.
So it's got the squawks from
It's
radio.
like,
because
the
It's like
squawks,
Task Force. Task
Yeah,
Force
because
Radio on Arma's got that.
Yeah.
If they do that for Spectrum now, oh my god, I'll be still using Discord then. That will drive me nuts after
Imagine
a
like
while.
15 people. What's going on, guys? So it's like it'd be crazy. Well, they could probably make it an option whether it squawks or not if you want to squawks and box.
Especially if you're in a big, huge group going to do something too, and you need to talk to 50 or 100 people. You know.
I'm not going to use
thanks.
Discord for that. Discord does not support big fleet actions.
We'd have to enact TeamSpeak
Go back
3.
Yep,
Unfortunately.
TeamSpeak and
Because you gotta have
Mumble.
hiker channels in order to like talk to multiple rooms, do whisper lists, all that stuff. Go back to the old school.
And I've already been writing CRG. The ability to speak to multiple rooms, have hierarchies of talk channels and stuff like that. They need that in to avoid people using something else.
Yeah, or we will,
Especially-
because communication's that important that you have to have something going there for that, or else.
And when you're talking orgs with 50 plus members on at the same time, doing fleet ops, you need that.
Absolutely. Especially when you have some people that are going to need their own rooms because they're going to have to talk, like your engineers want to talk together, your other people want to talk together, and then from the bridge you need to be able to communicate that room. So you need those type of divides in comms, so that way you have the inherent ability to talk to everybody if you need to go mass comms, or talk to your localized group if it's a squad or working in a section of the ship or something, or else you won't be able to have capital gameplay because people are like, hey, you need to hand me that, and it's like, well, I'm on the bridge, well, I'm back in the engine room, it's like, well, I'm 5 minutes away. So yeah. Toy, what were you hoping to see for social and group mechanics before 3.0 drops, or when it drops?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the integration with the component systems in your ship. So the passengers in your multi-cruise ships can actually take control of certain panels to help the pilot.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that's in real well.
That'd be good.
Because they say it is, but
we'll see. Proof's in the pudding. No,
we'll see in a week from now. When it goes to Ivacati.
Toy wants a dong slider.
Well, group dong slider, so you force.
That way everybody can be the same size. There you go.
So there's no indie issues.
Or you can assign dong sliders by hierarchy. Only the captain can have the largest dong, and then you have to go down to like the private, and he's
Imagine a dong slider that actually goes to and the other way around.
Never know.
So you couldn't have both. You can only choose one.
What happens if you tied reputation to your dong size? Like if you had a bet, like if your rep was going down, your dong size would go down. But if you had an immaculate rep with different entities, you would just have a huge ass dong. It'd be perfect. Be perfect. I think we'd say new mechanics for Conan. We'll have reputation system in Conan. As you build up your rep, you'll be able to eventually you'll have to have, AI carry your dong for you because it'll be way too big. You'll have to have backup. It'd be like a caravan. It'd be amazing.
Hang it over the camel.
There you go. It'll be amazing. Yes. And people just look at you and fear you in general.
They could follow your trail through the desert by your third
it's like,
leg.
oh, what is that? Is that a snake? No, that's Toy Grubbin. His reputation is at least this big.
People would be more scared of tripping and falling over in front of you than actually moving your gum.
When you stand out there in the desert and they see you coming, you're like, you're swinging around. It's like helicopter. It's going to be pretty bad.
It's like those guys in Australia where they swing the thing around and make the noise.
Oh, those things. Yeah, what are those? Those are awesome.
You got the lasso thing to catch him? No.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I think, but going back to Star Citizen now that we went off on that tangent, I think for me, the social and group mechanics I'm looking for with 3.0 is going to be bare minimum, much like what you guys said with communication. Definitely have to have the communication stuff there, even if it's on a chat basis. I would like to see the beginning of VoIP, voice comms in there. I think at least for us to start testing it. And by God's sakes, I know they don't have the revamp of the party system scheduled till 3.1. Fuck that. If we're going to play together, let's get it in 3.0 for the party system. We've already had a working party system. I don't know how it got broke. Can we just have... I just want to be able to group up, invite my friends. I think the bar of what I'm asking for is right about here. It's not crazy. I'm not asking for the moon. I mean, there's so much other things I want down the road, like corporate infrastructure, permission systems for ships, all those things. A lot of those things are coming to criminality builds and stuff in 3.1, 3.2. But I'm looking for... Can I play with my fucking friends and talk to them? That's it. That's all I want by 3.0.
Yeah.
Then we can get more. Let's see. Next question from Thrace says, has there been any discussion of non-ship navigation systems like maps, coordinates, waypoints, etc.? Again, what are your hopes in this area? So non-ship navigation systems. Like how would you, when you're not in your ship, what kind of system are you envisioning, or have you heard about CIG talking about any systems that are for getting around? How do you locate yourself?
Like your Moby Glass?
I suppose your Moby Glass, maybe your suit, but I mean, again, those are very finite radars and controls. I mean, if you're on a planet and you ain't got a rover and you ain't got a bike and your ship crashed, how are you going to get around?
Well,
How do I know which way to go to civilization?
For navigations,
Signposts.
I'm kind of looking at if it's a planet where humanity has bases on, I would believe you would put at least a few satellites in orbit, which will give you a GPS system. So you should at least have a 1, 2, 3 satellite positioning, which should be you are in this area at least. And then I would want geographical maps taken from satellite imaging. That's the minimum I would expect on planets that's been explored already.
Interface it with what, your Mobi-Glass then?
Yes, I would basically be able to look and see on my Mobi-Glass, see a map, topographical from up down, like it's been taken from a satellite, and I'll be able to see a rough estimate of where I am if there's satellites in orbit. Now, if there's not satellites in orbit, then
or there's a sandstorm.
Yeah. Well, still a sandstorm can work depending. That's not the issue. Well, depending on what's in the sandstorm, of course. But like, if I'm on a new planet, I don't want that, unless I perhaps spend time in orbit with a ship with sensors, and I've taken these pictures, scanned the planet. Imagine the gameplay that you're coming there with and you're flying around the planet like 10 times, trying to cover all of it. And there's actually gameplay of where, okay, now you got 90% of the planet, but you need to fly here to get the rest of it. And then you can land, but you still don't have the satellite unless you deploy satellites in orbit, which is also some expenditure. You have to spend money on that. And then you can land, and then you have a rough estimate of where you are. Man, I would love that, and I would expect that from CIG because they deliver.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
It's good. Bristol, what do you think? Same stuff? Anything different you'd want to see on like how you interface with navigation with ships, without ships, with Matt's coordinates and waypoints? How would you perceive that? You think? How do you think they're going to do that?
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if you don't have a Mobi-Glass. I mean, is it like Fallout where you can't lose your Pip-Boy or whatever? Like, can you ever go without your Mobi-Glass? Is it always
does it ever run out of power? These are great questions because I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Like, if that's the thing, if you can ever not have a Mobi-Glass on you, what are you going to do? Are you going to be looking for like landmarks to kind of find a known location? Are you going to look for the river, as someone has said in chat, follow the river upstream? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to look for the stars and go, I'm heading
I guess
north?
maybe you better do your research before you land. Might be good. Might be good. Toy?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Or you just pull out a big like paper map. You know what I mean?
That'd be hilarious if I just unfold from my pocket like this fucking atlas or something like that. That'd be great. What do you think, Toy?
I think you should just, if it's not a big established planet, you're just on your own.
Yeah.
That's it. You're screwed. You're screwed,
out, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think, so say you take a rover, you land your ship, you take a rover. Now your rover should be able to locate where your ship was landed.
You would think so.
But if you jump out and get lost and you're out there and you don't have nothing, well, oh well. When your oxygen runs out, then you
Robot.
Well, when your oxygen runs out, you turn into a robot.
Sorry.
That's the only guy.
Yeah. I don't know what causes that, but once your oxygen runs out in your suit, you're screwed. So that's it.
I'm hoping that they'll have personal beacons. Like it'll be whenever you get so low on your suit, if that's an energy issue or whatever, or something like that. Even if you crash, I want a beacon on my person powerful enough to where if I decide to turn it on, it's my roll of dice. I don't know who will answer it. Could be Van Duel, could be another pilot, could be a pirate, could be whatever. But it'll like even work on a planetary service, unless it's a special planet with like some magnetic field or something like that, or the environment's like super dangerous where they won't work. And then it gives you a warning: landing on this planet. Beacons, all this other stuff be interfered with by EMI, and then I'd have to find some other way, get to the top of a mountain or something, to do it. But I want to be able to crash on a planet, flip something on, and know that somebody will at least know I'm there, and they'll get like a mission in the job well where they could try to go pick me up or something if I don't have any friends to do it. I think that would be really cool gameplay.
I'm pretty sure they're going to have the beacon system because they talked about it a bit, that
But they
you
don't
know,
really talk
maybe
about it on planets, though, right? They talk about it like
they talked about on the ships.
Yeah.
But
Your space suit should have a beacon as well, because if you're lost in space and people should be come and rescue you, that
black
needs to be
box.
there.
But maybe with a
No, no,
lot
just-
limited range, that would be awesome too. You know,
I think
yeah,
the
you
beacon
have
should
one,
be the
but
person, not the ship at all. I don't think the ship should even matter. I think because
It
you
shouldn't.
eject out of ships and all that stuff. I mean, they'll detect the ship on scan, but
You
I
have the
think it
black
should
box
be
on
a
the ship, don't you?
personal.
So-
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but if you're ejecting from the ship or you are thrown out of the ship, they want that rescue gameplay in, so you need to have personal beacons to get that.
yeah,
That's what
well.
your mobiGlass is. You'd have a
yeah,
But
they
see-
can be
mobiGlass.
tied to mobiGlass. That's fine.
But see, you need a beacon on the ship too, because say you go out in EVA somewhere, like to go on a satellite, and your ship gets bumped, or you didn't park it all the way and it floats off, and you're not sure where the hell it's at.
Yeah,
You need to be able to way to find it too. So
Yeah,
Scan it.
Everything should have beacons,
yeah.
and that's the thing we need. We need beacons for all our stuff. We need beacons for our friends and stuff like that, so we can find each other, because that's what they will have in that
Yeah.
future. Because it's really easy to make, and it's like if I get out from my ship, drive a rover off, park that, and go out, the computers, the advanced computers they got like 900 years from now, are so advanced that they can easily remember every single step, turn, and twist I've done since I left these things. So it can already plot down where they are if they haven't moved, right? And then we have the beacons communicating as well. So that should be easy.
Yeah.
I was going to mention, you said there about future technology. They're already looking at Tesla's auto drive cars, right? So why the fuck would your ship ever get lost? If it's that smart in 900 years in the future, you could go over there, you could be lost from your ship. That's true. That's very true. You may not know where your ship is, but your fucking ship is probably a lot smarter than you. You know what I mean? So
I
your
just don't
ship
know
is
if they're
more than
going that
likely gonna
approach,
know where
though.
you
on it.
are.
I think that's the
But
problem.
so
I don't think they want
Tesla technology, you say, ship, I'm lost, pick me up. Will automatically comes and picks you up.
That would
'cause
be a
it's
cool
got Tesla
feature
technology,
add-on.
you know what I mean?
I
I
just
might
don't
actually
know.
include that. That would be nice.
Because cars are
Imagine
getting
you're driving 2 hours across the planet.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Is CIG going to force you to drive 2 hours back? I don't think so.
And they don't
I
want you
actually
to kill yourself.
They
right, To
should.
get back. They don't want you to make you kill yourself. So it's like, I don't know. That's interesting. Yep. All right. Let's see here. So next question. It says, in the 3.0 schedule, what does operator seats mean? Operator seats?
Yeah, operator seat. That's the people who are in the crew on the ships. They operate the various parts of
There you
the ships like that. So that's like most people have seen the Freelancer. It's got 4 seats in the front, and there's the pilot, there's the co-pilot, which usually do the shields and stuff like that, and the engines and all sorts of things. But that can be split out. So the 2 other seats can get some of those jobs. Like one can get here, you take the engineers because I don't want to focus on that right now, and you take the shields, I'll control the weapons. So that's what the slots are.
Well, there you go. And the next question is, what's your favorite Sata Ball team? Toy, what's your favorite Sata Ball team?
the SpaceBro rockets.
There you go.
The Duck Raiders.
The Duck Raiders. How about you, Bristol?
Oh man, I don't even know. Comes to like a brain freeze.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna go with the. Let's see. What should it be? The Van Duel Dong Sliders. I think that'd be the best one. It'd be like so controversial. We're always known for playing dirty, and we'll play out with our cock out. It'd be perfect. All right. So next one is.
Cockouts for the Van Duel.
There it is. I have no idea what that even means, so I'll just skip it.
Well, no, read
Okay.
it to us.
Would share BPs with DS for world Ps?
Yes.
Maybe.
Sure. Well, I don't know where that means. And then the last question we have, let me refresh to make sure it's the last question. I'll probably go down. There's like 5,000 fucking questions after refreshing. No, we're good. All right. So the last question is, will the radar system give info about the surface temperature, etc.? Good for switching, like all environmental stuff. Will we be able to environmentally scan the planet? Because that way we could choose things like loadout, spacesuits, those type of things. So will the radar system give us that info?
Oh man, that would be so cool. Like when you dig deeper into what we talked about earlier, taking photos. But if you use heat mapping, you can find interesting spots like, oh, there's something out of the ordinary that, like, this is not the same temperature. So not only can you see what's the general temperature of the planet and the zones you're wanting to land in, and you can see is like, is there different climates, but also you can see the interesting parts like, oh, that is extremely hot compared to the rest of it. Is there an engine there or something else?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely like that.
Yeah. I think there's something that's going to be in place that's going to give you that kind of information on planets, like the area you land. Because I know it warns you if you try to land in an area where you're not supposed to. Like it'll say, oh, atmospheric conditions don't allow you to, and then you got to travel by foot or rover or something. But I would think there'd be something that's out there. I don't know if they've talked about that specifically, though. I think it'd be cool if you had to launch a probe. Like a fucking Empire fucking probe, little robot that goes down there and goes like across the surface and looks around and stuff. Then you can get down on the planet and check it out, see if it's good.
Oh, imagine that expansion for the scanning gameplay. So you go in orbit with Keela. You not only take pictures and fly around, you also launch probes and you can actually control them.
Yep.
Oh,
I
man.
think probe. I really hope for probe gameplay because coming from EVE Online, even dragging those little things to triangulate stuff, I think that's fun. To discover the stuff, find hidden ships and people and all that stuff, I think that'd be perfect. And that's how you find your spaceship when it gets lost.
Just doing a flyover of the planet. Discovery, many years ago, they made a 2-hour-long episode about exploring different planets with some semi-sentient robots. Going out and meeting creatures and flying into caves and assisting one another. And it was pretty damn cool for the time. And yes, I can definitely imagine that having a sort of floating hover, since we got that tech, hover probe going around that you can control. It's like, oh, there's a cave. Let's go in there and signal lost. And,
yeah, that'd be amazing. Sweet. That'd be amazing. All right. So I think we're at the part, unless anybody else has any other answers or anything like that. I think we're getting ready to draw down this raffle. Make sure, guys, that you are entered, ! SpaceBros in chat to do the thing. So make sure you're in there. You can check by checking your bro bucks. Let's go around the room and we'll find out what everybody's going to be doing. We'll start with Toy this time. What are you going to be doing the rest of this weekend, Toy? What's your big plans?
I don't know. Probably mostly playing PUBG. So
cool. Yeah. PUBG it is. PUBG for sure. All right. Bristol, tell everybody where they can find you, when you're going to be on, when's your next stream event, and, you know, what you're going to be doing this weekend.
We're probably just going to be chilling this weekend. I probably will do a couple of streams, Saturday or Sunday. More than likely, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But, you know, just get some more fucking chicken dinners, as you do. So you can find me at Twitch TV / BristolBoy88. Normally stream Monday to Friday around 12 GMT onwards. So, yeah, we have fun.
There you go. Make sure to hit them up on Twitter, too.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and post it at permitted.
I think it's the BristolBoy88 on Twitter.
Yep.
So, oh, yeah.
Out there. While he's doing that, DuckForceOne, why don't you tell us when you'll be on next, where people can find you, and all their good stuff that you'll be doing this weekend.
Okay, well, I'm DuckForceOne, and since 2 days this weekend, and this weekend I'm probably gonna be doing some setup of my OBS because I did a full reinstall of my computer, and I decided, well, I just want to redo everything from the start, and I want to share it with you guys. So might be doing some of that live, and if not, I got a copy of Space Engineers I want to try out. I got Earthfall I want to try out, and I got one other game that I can't remember right now that I also want to try. and stream, and I got some keys for at least 2 of them to give away as well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at that in this weekend, and yeah, that's my weekend plans.
Awesome.
And you can find me on Twitch TV at DuckForceOne.
There you go. Yep. Absolutely. And everybody knows that, we'll be here all weekend, obviously. Tomorrow, I am going to be continuing my rewire that I was interrupted on by family stuff today. But we're going to work on that some more. I found some stuff I can change up pretty good. Additionally, I went out and ordered $400 worth of new equipment because we're redoing the entire bracketing setup here because my wife is stealing my triple monitor thing, so I decided to redo the whole desk. So it's going to be here next week, so we'll probably GoPro and show you some of that live on there. And then what else we got going on? We are currently taking donations to unlock a Banu Merchantman giveaway. We already got over 40 or 50 bucks towards that. We'll be taking some more, so hopefully we'll be able to get that out to you. And it is a 4-year insurance anniversary sale, Banu. So it's not just a typical 6 months. So hopefully we'll get that, give it out to one lucky viewer. We're doing raffles and giveaways. Sunday is the last day of the month where we get to burn out all our bro bucks, and we're doing at least $70 worth of giveaways that day for the entire audience and stuff. And then every 10 subs, as always, we're giving out $25 gift cards or the copy of PUBG or a starter package for Star Citizen. Your choice is a winner. We give you all the options there and do all that stuff because we're trying to grow the channel back up. What else are we doing? We got all kinds of shit going on. And then we're also working on the brand new podcast right now called The Stream Theory. We're waiting for some artwork and stuff to come down where we're going to be talking to you guys about streaming. Hopefully you guys are out there and you're eager to become affiliates inside Twitch and you have all the different information that you're curious about. If you're curious about partnerships, contracts, anything related to somebody like myself who full-time streams, we'll be answering those questions for you, along with having special guests from all different walks of life streamers and starting up our second super positive open community and possible stream team soon we'll be announcing that'll be open to everyone. So it'll be really cool. We got all sorts of goodies. So be sure to hang out and check all that shit out. So yeah. So I'm excited. It's going to be really good. I'm excited. Let's go over here. Why not? All right, guys. We have 92 entries on this.
Nice.
We're going to go to my special raffle window so you can see it. Come on, raffle window. Plug in. There it is. So we're going to seal the raffle window in the void of space, as I am. And then we're going to go up here and we're going to draw this winner here. And this is, again, for a $25 Star Citizen gift card to help support our favorite game that this podcast is all about. So if you don't want it, just give it back to me. I'll spend the money for you. And we'll be doing payouts. Again, last announcement, too, before we go into this. Then we'll be doing the SpaceBro after show after this, guys. So if you hang out, we'll go off the air so we can push this out to YouTube. But we'll come back. We're going to play some PUBG, do some more giveaways and all that stuff. We are going to be giving out this. And then we are not going to use a keyword for this one. So just make sure that. But all the payouts that we were supposed to do today, you can all thank my mom for disrupting all that. But we are going to be paying out tomorrow. So if you're due something, I haven't forgotten you. All payouts will be done tomorrow before I come on the air. So make sure that's the way to go. So again, we're not, Kamikaze's putting the thing up there. We're not going to do a claim word for this one. We're just going to give this out fairly willy-nilly. But all the other ones we do claim words for, so be prepared for that. And again, Twitch does not sponsor or endorse any of our giveaways, nor does CIG. They are provided by me, myself, and I, or Mitauchi Entertainment LLC, or the Space Bros, and through their generosity and support of my channel. So let's see who's going to be the winner in 3, 2, 1. Looks like
Rigged.
Yeah, rigged right there. Guns and Glue is the big winner on this one. Yeah, make sure he's following everybody. Is he following Bristol Boy? Is he following Mr. DuckForceOne? Does Toy know if he's following him, or does he even care?
I have no clue.
Yeah, Toy's like, fuck that.
Nope. I do not have a follow of Guns and Glue.
Guns and Glue. Oh, somebody else triple check that.
Wow.
There's somebody really smart with like that stuff. That knows how to do it.
Nobody here.
He is.
All right, because I was gonna say there's like somebody always doubles triple checks.
How do I tell if he's following me?
I check my email. I got a really old.
Yeah.
So.
Is he following you,
My
Bristol?
bot.
I don't know how to check.
Oh my God.
But yeah, my bot doesn't show him.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
Evil bots.
Let's see if he's on my bot. I'd say yeah.
Okay.
What am I looking?
We'll go with yes. We'll go with yes. All right.
Guns
well,
and glue, yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations to Guns and Glue.
Cool.
Thank you so much, brother, for following all these awesome guys and being a continued supporter of the show. Congrats. That's awesome sauce. So we're going to send you this quick message so that way I don't forget you. I keep all my records on Twitch. And perfect. None of that was spelled correctly, but that's okay because I don't care. And yeah, that's good. That. There we go. And sent. All right. And with that, guys, we're going to cut back over to this screen, though. But I really appreciate all you guys being here tonight. Thank you so much, DuckForceOne. Thank you, Bristol Boy. I really do appreciate it. And Toy, as always, thank you for showing up each and every week to help the show out and be here and give your opinions on everything awesome to do with Star Citizen. And guys, we're going to go ahead and cut out of here, but make sure that you are following everybody, you're checking it out, and you're following the development of Star Citizen. We'll see you next week at 10 p.m. CST for the next episode of SpaceBro Show, where we'll have the Astropub and Grit Spitter will be here for our guest that week. And yeah, just watch out for more Star Citizens. And we'll see you guys later. Peace out. Have a great evening. And I'll be back on the air in 5 minutes. So have a good
night.
one, guys.
Peace out, bitches. Woo-hoo.
That's the way you do it. That's the way you do
That's the
it.
way to end the show.
Yeah.